it, girl.
Hey guys, are you there? Let me know how the sound is because I don't have the microphone hooked up. So, it's in the we're in Randy's basement here. How are you all? Can you hear me? Little Skittle, maybe Scout B, Donnie Color.
It's all there.
Janine, Fran, Janet.
No,
Angelina.
That's what I do.
I'm just Karen. I love some Irish lads. Yeah, you do. Can you hear me though, guys? Yeah. Hi. Okay, cool. Does it sound all right, or should I do the
No screaming microphone.
The microphone.
No screaming.
Randy's moving around back there. I'm trying to get him to come.
I'm always moving around. I'm coming.
So what's up, Juliana? Hi, Brandy. Tracy. Fran. Tina. The Silverleaf. Do you want to come on? Anybody that wants to come on, please do let me know, because we still want to have guests. Once Randy gets his butt over here. Julie, hey!
What's up, everybody?
How are you? Wait, come on.
See, that's just too close.
See, why is it?
What's up, guys?
It looked different on my laptop for some reason. Or, you know what I mean? On the video.
I do.
Why do I look crooked? I look like I'm slanted. Wait, hi, pretty pink flowers. Good to see you, busy mama. Where are you guys at tonight? Please be kind and rewind and cement shoes. We are all thank you. You too, Buck Chuck, and good to see you. Happy Friday. Thanks, Janine.
What is
appreciate that. Lori,
we're at my basement / work shop.
The light's kind of weird, huh? I have my little ring light, but we were testing out different ones. It looks like it's like right in my face, though. But up above it was.
I still say we should have been in the living room, but it's
well, they didn't leave yet, though.
That's fine.
April or May, Tiffany. I lost my email. Wait, what, Juliana? So, does anybody want to come on just so I'm ready, or I could have it? Hi, Yellow Roses. My night just got better. Oh, Wendy Lee. Hey, you're a handsome dude.
Oh, thank you. But no.
Yeah, thanks, Janine, for your super chat. That's so nice. Hi, Gigi. In room, any news in the U.S. about Gannon? I don't know. No, I mean, is there any new? Thank you, Wendy Lee. My mom got this in Italy for me, actually. Yeah, I love it, actually.
Oh, your necklace?
Yeah, she got it for me in Italy.
Oh, I like. Oh, yeah, that is gorgeous.
Hey, Deborah Ferris, Beverly Wiley, how's everyone? Let's meet after snow. Oh, okay, Juliana. Yeah. Where's the meetup place?
Wherever there's that snow,
Thanks,
it's gotta be Hawaii.
Yep, Italy. I've never been to Italy yet, but yeah.
What's up to see?
I got a lot of family actually in Italy. Got family all over. That's my parents went and stayed with a bunch of different people. Shiny Catcher Christie.
What's up, Shiny?
Wow, biggest flood. Your house. Whoa, buddy, that's not good.
Why is maybe? What's up, maybe? Why is she always talking about putting people in cement shoes? What's going on here?
That's who she's talking to.
Oh,
silly.
Never mind.
There's snow on top of Hawaii.
No, there's snow on top of my head.
Wait, what do you mean?
On the
Angelina?
mountain. In the mountain.
But why I don't get it though. My video. Okay, yes, we're gonna get to that here. Well, say hi to the people first.
Hello, everybody.
Come in a little bit.
I can't come in. Your screen is so small.
I know. Maybe I should have used my other camera and hooked it up. I just didn't want to test things out right since we're running late. I know it'll work, but I got to test out doing the camera and make sure it works. But should I have done it running this late? I could have, or just did what I know.
You don't want to flip
but eventually I want
just
to.
a little bit, so we're not
Yeah, but it should. This is not going to matter. It's just going to make it our heads. Oh, okay. It's not going to make it bigger.
Okay, I know. Stiff necks. I love it.
Oh, are you talking about because your head?
Well, I mean, no.
When you have time, the lighting place it is so that it's coming from behind you. Even try with a bulb on a chair. No, so wait, the lighting should be behind me? I have it like on the other side.
See, that's what I thought. It should be coming from behind.
But the thing is, I keep thinking me behind like this. The thing why I think it's supposed to come like that, because it has like, I'm not using it, but it has the thing for the camera on there. So it's like you put the camera right on there and then the light's right there. But I'm not using it for the camera part. But that's why I think it's supposed to be right there. I don't know. But I guess we could put it, but then it's gonna like you'll see the big ring, I guess. I don't know. Does it look that bad? No, lighting should be on you. Okay.
Cement shoes, what's going on, my man?
Yeah, it is on me. Isn't it on me? All right.
It's what on you?
The lighting.
Yeah, the lighting's right there.
No, when I'm talking to her, when she says is it on you, I'm asking, is it on? Do you mean because it is on me or because I'm doing it wrong? I didn't know if she meant on me from behind or on me from front.
See, Johnny Cuddy says the lighting goes in front, so we got.
Yeah, that's what I thought because it has the thing for the camera right there too, so it makes sense that it would be there. I think I'm just. You guys are probably all saying the same thing, and I'm misunderstanding everybody. So I think we're all good. Okay, so Razor Dateline. What? You look great. It's good. Okay, Wendy Lee. I know I'm going on for like 20 minutes about the lighting. Hey, Tennessee Falls girl, I got your email. I was gonna respond later, but I got it. I just got it like a little bit before I left.
What's up,
hey, Gianna Marie, Jane Sanderson, KDR, and let me know if anybody wants to come on. Send me your email, please. Okay, so maybe you're just glowing. Yeah, wake up, John. Yeah, we look good. Okay, well.
Yeah, quit worrying about the lights.
I know I'm not.
I gotta look at the comments.
Okay, so yeah, the video I had to take down because I was a little bit off on the times because I didn't know the Rosebud. I didn't know the 2-hour difference. So, but basically, so it was off on the times as far as the 2-hour difference. So, but I was still right on the fact that Vivint thing that she was saying was like a the Vivint that was because he was putting it in because NK was about to come over. That was not that though. It was still like an update that happened daily. So it was still not random at all. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Well, a lot of you guys didn't see it, but it wasn't random, which means it had nothing to do with NK being there.
Right.
Because it's just an automatic thing that was happening every day.
To the devices in the house, whether it be the internet or the Vivint. I don't know if Vivint runs off.
It wasn't Vivint. That one thing wasn't Vivint. That's the thing.
Yeah, it was probably just a router talking to all.
Yeah, but it was like an automatic thing. It's connected to that one. It says NTP server synchronization or whatever. It's connected with that. Those two were always together. So I don't know that much about it, but what I do know is that was happening daily at the same exact time. So, I had to take it down, though, because I didn't know about the 2-hour time difference. But it still doesn't change the fact of that not being random. So, I don't know. I don't think I don't think there's anything to that whole theory. But what do I know? I mean, a lot of people, I just don't want, and then I just had a lot of, what I was really afraid of is exactly what happened. I had a lot of people thinking that I have some ulterior motive or something like that I want to prove that NK wasn't there, and that's not what I'm doing. If I could find some proof that NK was there, I'll be the first to freaking say it. I just want the truth. I know she's a freaking liar, and there's something up with why she lied. I don't know why she lied. Was she manipulating him? I don't know. I haven't found any proof that she was there, and when I should never even have made that video. I feel bad. I feel like I don't know.
No, you were doing it for a reason.
But I'm telling you, that video took me so long to make. I had so many little details. It was a killer to have to take it down, but I can't have the wrong information up there. But I was just like, oh my God, like 3 days of like, well, research, first of all, staring at the computer, staring at everything for days. My eyes were twitching and it was just like, and then putting it together. I mean, it probably took me like 3 or 4 days, like straight, like, it was just a lot of hours. And then to have to only be able to keep it up for like, what, an hour and then take it down because that time difference, which I guess I could have still kept it up because a lot of it was still right, but just that 2-hour time difference, it was just bugging me because I didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? So I just couldn't keep it up. But anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think? Thanks.
I mean, I think it's a good thing that you took it down because the simple fact is, if you're trying to prove that some of this stuff was, that was incorrect, and you yourself found out that some of what you were putting out was unsure, then I think the right thing to do was to remove it.
I mean, that was the only thing to do. I couldn't keep that up. No way. Thanks, little Skittle.
It's all about, finding the truth.
Love Russell. No, I'm not upset about anything. I made this video I put out 2 nights ago, was it? And I didn't know about the whole 2-hour time difference on there. So basically I couldn't keep it up because I didn't know about it. So my video didn't point that out. So, but I feel like the message was still right. Like I don't know, in my opinion, the whole point of it was kind of right for the fact that it was just like an automatic thing, but oh well, I'm just going to drop it. I feel like I want to just kind of put that case on.
Yeah, because I mean, it did. I think it attracted a lot of
negativity.
Criticism.
Yeah, and I wasn't. Negativity. I know I feel bad because I wasn't.
But the thing is people got to understand all you were doing was trying to say, okay, look, we researched this. This is not how this is. And parts of your video was correct, okay? And I salute you. I give you props on that. You and me, but you're not perfect. You're human.
Yeah,
you make mistakes, but you mainly and politely bowed out without bashing anybody or getting into arguments, creating drama. And I think you did the right thing. You're a respectable person.
The thing is, but what I'm saying is, by the comments, a lot of people thought I was doing that. That's what was killing me the most. It was like,
but that's why you had.
What? That's not what I was doing at all. I'm just trying to get the truth. And I was trying not to even say the person's name because I felt bad, but I needed some reference point to show you what I was talking about. So I had to, let you know what I kind of was talking about. But
I see a couple of comments real quick.
I wasn't trying they
were like, oh, you're trying to, discredit somebody.
No,
and I was like, no. Good job, you pulled
the thing is, when I first watched that video, I was like, oh my God, wow. And it made me like, okay, shoot, I want to look into this because I want to double check though, just to make sure, because I have all those files too. So I just wanted to double check and make sure all the information was right, because if she was right, it was kind of like, whoa, that does raise a little bit of doubt. But then when I saw that it wasn't exactly what she was saying, then it made me think, oh man, these people are not thinking the right thing. Like, I had to tell you, but I'm glad.
I mean, it's,
yeah.
You don't want to mislead people.
Darla, what's up, girl? You want to come on tonight? April teasing.
What's up, April? How's it going?
Gianna, Maria. Oh, thanks, Brandy. Wow. So, what else did we want to say?
Yes, Brandy, that's this. Yep, that's her channel. Definitely.
I'm trying to think. I wanted to bring up something else. Now, hold on. I'm just having a
you could go sidetracked.
No. I know. There's a couple things I wanted to point out, and now I just totally slipped my mind. What the heck? Ran talk to him while I'm thinking.
And I will submit you. She knows that you guys love her wholeheartedly, man. Definitely. She knows she's got some wonderful people here. Your viewers, your subs.
Oh, that's what I wanted to bring up. porn thing that you were talking about.
Oh, go. Yeah.
But I don't want to say something because I still am not like a computer person. So all I know is that DOS attack, right? I don't know exactly what it is, but when you look it up, it talks about like something trying to attack your computer or your device, right? Like it'll take. What if I'm saying something
DOS
wrong?
is basically a program for commands, and yeah, that it's apparently what you're trying to say is that it's Chris Watts, his router was, or his phone or something, his router was trying to be attacked.
Yeah, something was trying to, and it was trying to fight it off, right, or something. But when I showed my cousin this, he was like, "Oh my God, why?" Like he had so many attacks. It was all throughout, like every day. It was like almost every hour he was, and he's like, "What the heck? Why is his computer being attacked like that? That's crazy." Randy brought up a good point. Maybe he was looking up porn. And it makes sense. Maybe it was looking, because you know those porn sites will have viruses all over them. You look up one and then you get all kinds of crap. Yes. So wonder if he was looking up a lot of porn stuff, and those 3 days, like it was just getting like attacked.
You can ask him.
I don't know. Does any of you guys know about the DOS attack? Because that was something that she was saying that's when he was putting in the codes. Would that have anything to do with the codes and the DOS? That's why I don't, maybe I shouldn't even say, because I'm not sure. But if you look it up online and then asking my cousin and then asking Randy, it's not 100%, but it looks like, there's some kind of virus that's at least trying to, right?
Okay. Well,
or something's trying to attack.
Or his video.
No, there's no video. I was just saying I told him about it.
Oh, okay.
So... do you guys know anything about the DOS attack? But I mean, it makes sense. Maybe he was looking up a bunch of porn at the time.
You're correct, Tennessee.
And the thing is, it happened like when he was on the phone with NK. So maybe he turned on his computer and they were having like phone sex or something. Because didn't she say they did have phone sex? I mean, people do it. It's not that uncommon. 111 minutes. Yeah, it's the way they were having sex. I'm sure they did. So maybe he was on the phone, and that's. I don't know though. I'm just throwing out some thoughts. It's not facts, but just I don't know. What do you guys think?
All day long with a baseball bat. No,
Yeah, red like wine when they showed that on the movie, him watching porn for a minute. So I don't know, just something to think about. I don't even know if DDoS is prehistoric. Cement shoes. So does anybody know like a lot about that DOS attack or whatever? Am I like totally off?
Well, M&J says, I think a DOS attack is something trying to log into the router that isn't registered.
Yeah.
You're exactly correct. And what's going on here is when they're attempting to, if they say, for instance, if they're on their phone or the computer or whatever, this DOS is a primary basic command prompts that are still used widely. But now you're seeing more and more of it into like pornographic material, of course, just sites that you shouldn't be on,
Randy.
And so I just have a feeling that dude has been on like porn for years, I don't know.
I did do a video about all the steps, but then people brought it to my attention that actually that isn't a ton of steps. I don't know. Like people I do that like so quick, but on the phone he did have some more steps than you would think that he would have talking on the phone, but maybe because wait a minute, if he was having phone sex, can that look as like steps? I mean, how does that exactly work? The count or whatever?
It depends on what he's doing.
Because it just depends on how it moves.
Depends on where he's at when he's whacking
actually, that could actually, if he has it on his, if he has it on his hand or whatever, couldn't that like
no simulations here.
Look like he's. You guys, this is just all no facts here. This is just my thoughts, but couldn't that look like it steps instead? I would
imagine it'll definitely increase his heart rate.
Yeah, that's what you're saying, actually, Glenn. Maybe it was him visiting other sites. I don't know, but I'm not exactly sure the DOS attack thing. No. That's why I was asking if you guys know if that's what it could be.
He was
you
on
guys
multiple
know?
sites, I guarantee you that. But I mean, it's just not important to law enforcement, so they're not going to put it out there. You know, who cares? Yeah.
Oh, that Brandy, she donated. Oh wait, Emma sent me some. She donated $14.99, so I put it up there so everybody could see how awesome. Yeah, cool. But now I don't know how to. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't.
Hi, Tina.
I don't know how to get it off though. I know I'm dying. Not dying. I shouldn't even use that word. I do want kind of. No, I know. I would like to know what he looks like now. I was hoping in that new book that. Hold on, let me see something.
Tina Jones brings up something about the Firestick. Wonder if that could have any. It's very possible.
Yeah, Firestick. I was.
That would be on.
But wait, Firestick. When did he get that? Yeah, he would have just got that right. But
it would depend on what he was trying to do. But yeah, I mean, it's a possibility the Firestick could have. You know, if he had it in his system, he could.
Well, Emma
I don't think he actually had the chance to utilize that Firestick yet. I don't know.
So Emma, do you think it could be the porn or no? Because you sent me that link. Are you saying that it's something else or no? Because I don't know. I'm not sure about this
denial
computer
of service.
stuff.
Yes, denial of service.
Is it just a device that it's blocking, or could it be a site that it's blocking? That's actually my question. Do you know, Emma? Because you sent this, I was just curious if you knew maybe. Oh, push up crunches. I don't really care. Yeah, that's true. I'm just Karen. He could still be working out. You're right.
He
but
is. He is. He's still.
That, yeah, I'm surprised that.
Besides me,
I wish they would have put pictures in that book, but oh well. I haven't even finished that book because I already know. I mean, it's nothing new. We already know what's in it. Freaking, it's the discovery plus. Go read the that book she plagiarized, and then all the information is already kind of known. You know, illegal sites or devices. Yeah. Okay. Wait. So it could be the Firestick. Okay. So it could be sites or devices. Okay, so that makes sense. So,
but
it's not Vivint then. Do you see what I'm saying? First of all, that first initial thing that she said Vivint was, that's a daily thing that's happening. So I don't believe that's Vivint. And then the stuff underneath, that wouldn't be a legal device. He would already have had that. So that would have nothing to do with Vivint. Do you see how her theory, what she said, that can't be right then, right? Or am I not looking at it right?
And it depends on how Vivint was installed as well, because it could either be going through a landline, or it could be going through the router, or it could have a dedicated line, which it should have. All alarm systems should run on a dedicated line.
That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be illegal. I mean, Vivint wouldn't be that. I just don't think that would have anything to do with Vivint. That's my point.
No, I don't think so.
So that point I still feel strongly about, but that 2-hour difference was just killing me. I had to get it off. So should I rely for myself on me? Was jailbroken with that? He would be able to get porn sites. Okay, yeah. So it could be. Maybe it wasn't because he just got the Firestick.
Was jailbroken. That because I mean there's no doubt about it.
So maybe it was because it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. Turn off the router. Anything trying to log on if that could be seen as a DDoS. It couldn't log into a turned off router. Oh, wait. So you're saying he would have turned off the router? Is that what you're saying?
And he's not that smart.
Trying to log in after that could have been. Huh. So Emma, do you think it could be anything to do with a porn site though, or no? So you think he turned off the router when he was talking to NK? Is that what you're saying, Emma?
Oh, he ain't that damn smart.
But why would he do that then?
He doesn't have that kind of sense.
I mean, I guess, and then that's why his phone reconnected and the other stuff did. But why would he even do that? No, but I mean,
maybe his shit just shut down and crashed.
No, I'm just saying that doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Well, just if NK was coming, why would you even turn off the router? It doesn't still. I mean, that wouldn't go along with her being there. But why? But why? Would
it be like, oh shit! I told her I dropped the cable and the internet. Damn, let me unplug this real quick.
No, I'm talking about NK.
That's what I'm talking about. Remember? They're supposed to be saving money to get a place together. shit, she knows I've got internet now.
No, well, I don't know
I'm just
about
messing
that,
around.
but so I don't know, guys, but I just don't.
It's just ridiculous.
I just feel like I don't know if we're ever gonna find that one thing that.
Well,
Oh,
I don't think so.
Oh, I see. Well, hey, to disable the ring. But why wouldn't he just bring her in the back if he was instead of go through all that trouble, just go through the garage or go through the back? You know, why disable it because of the ring for her? Because that's only at the front door, right? Seems more trouble to do that than just have her go out back.
But I will tell you one thing, and I don't know where it's at. I did see a video from Nate's surveillance showing a female walking up to that house. And this is after the murders. Walking up to that house, dude. And that video was out there, and it's gone.
I have never seen it, man. He
gone.
keeps saying that, but I have never
gone.
seen it.
Yeah, it was like I don't know, maybe a.
Are you sure it was for that?
Yeah.
You're the only one that's seen it.
The police were called afterwards, you know.
Yeah, I know it happened, but that wasn't out.
This video, I'm telling you, I seen the video from Nate's house. It showed a female at night walking up to that house. Now, what happened afterwards? I have no clue. The video's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it.
Is gone. So I don't know.
Wait, so Megan J. So it's router doing its job. So you're saying it could be like the Vivid could be the Vivid that it would do a DOS attack on.
Yeah, possibly.
That's why I hope maybe you guys can help me with this. Possible. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know.
You would have to see how the Vivid was installed. Was it installed by a
Beffy Cake said she remembers it too.
Oh, good. At least I'm not.
I don't know.
Dude. Yeah. Oh, thank God there's somebody else out there that's seen that. But,
no, we're talking about that mysterious girl that walked in. Where did you see it?
It was on YouTube. It was just a video I was looking at.
AD showed it?
No.
Really? I want to see this because I don't think it's out on YouTube right now. But maybe they had it. We know it happened because Nate said, and they called the cops, and it was there. I think it was September 21st, right?
Somebody released that footage of her coming up to the house, and all of a sudden they just scrapped it. They scrapped it quick. I mean, quick. And if I was thinking, I would have recorded that. Do
you remember? Somebody's asking, duality, reality? She wearing a black sweatshirt? Is she asking?
All I know is a skinny woman.
I think it was
long
the
brown
21st,
hair, black hair, brown hair. It was nighttime. And it had the same body style as NK. But I don't.
Sassy Ma, you've seen it too? Are you guys serious?
Thank you. I thought I was going crazy. I really did.
Oh my God, Lori said, anyone else sitting here watching this, and your husband walks up and asks if you're planning to murder him. You're funny. Oh my God.
You hurry up and unplug your router right now. Do it.
So, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about the computers. It was just a conversation. We were talking about the porn. I'm like, maybe.
Yeah. But yes, man, I'm so glad some of these people seen this video like I did.
Yeah, Allie. I mean, it was supposedly from Nate's. That's why, I was kind of upset because you're talking about this in the discovery that there's this video that Nate calls and that the police are called. Then where is it? I want to see that. If Nate had a video, but
Cement Shoes might have brought up a good point too. He said they scrapped her talking about hawking Shanann's ring.
Wait, what?
Has that been scrapped?
Wait, say
Remember the video when they were supposed to be talking about him pawning Shanann's ring?
No, it's in there.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it is in there, guys. There's different files, and it might not be in the public discovery, but there's different files. They have all of NK's interviews, that are transcribed or whatever, are in separate files when you order the Weld County discovery. They're all separate. Yeah. Usually it'll link the discovery files will be there'll be a code A something or whatever, and then it links to a file. But if you don't request them through Weld County, it's not public. You have to get them. Right. But it kind of shows you in the discovery where you find it in the files. It's kind of confusing how they do it, but it's still in there from the Weld County files.
So nothing is disappearing.
No, it's not. I mean, it's right there.
I was just saying, I've got it here on my computer, so.
Oh, you have it too. Yeah. He never did.
I'll check it out for you and try and get it to you.
Yeah, no, he never did pawn them.
No.
NK just said something about pawning them, and she said something about that. What did she say? I forget the exact words, but she was talking about like pawning her jewelry. And yeah, I'll get it. You know what? I will do a video of that to show you guys right in the discovery. I don't know, Mary 56. That's what I wish when I was did that video on that and was looking into that. It was just like, where is that video? Why aren't they? What are they hiding? So that does make you wonder what if they found out anything to it, and if it. If they don't know who it was, wouldn't they want that video out there so if anybody recognizes this person, this mysterious person, maybe they could say something? Or is it because they did find out who it was and they're trying to hide something? So,
Well, not necessarily hide something, but it makes you ponder that they know they are still checking into certain things.
Oh, yeah. But why does Rourke keep saying on every one of these specials, the case is closed, it's done? Like, he says it every time. Yeah. Which I know they could open it. I mean, it's never like, what is it called? Like permanent. But why does he keep saying that though? If they are, because they wouldn't tell anybody, but wouldn't they just say, they would. So you're saying they would, if it was open, and they're still looking into it, they would lie and say it was closed still?
I mean, I've seen Stranger Things. I've seen it before, actually. Yeah, I have.
I know, Candace. Hopefully, I'm sure. Do you think Shanae's mom got the ring?
I think the family. I think the family got that ring.
Hey, does anybody want to come on as a guest? You can have Randy here too.
Yeah,
come on.
Like hanging out and talking to you guys like this instead of virtual.
I
like the virtual. I like the virtual.
No, I mean somebody else.
Somebody comes on.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But for me to be on there,
no. Why would you be on here right now? No,
if I was on, if you were at your place, silly.
What does that say?
Goodness.
Oh yeah, Ashley Glenn when they said that they'll be back. I know it does.
They ain't coming back. You talking about going to see Chris?
I don't know. I always thought they would probably go back and interview him again.
Yeah.
Whether it be just for information, just for
what information? More half lies?
Well, because there's the public still has a lot of questions. I don't know.
We're never going to get the full truth. We're never going to.
No, I'm not saying we will, but I mean maybe it's just.
I mean, and if they do, it's just it's going to be the same stuff like people are doing now. They are.
Shoot, Janice, God, I wish I do have my computer right here. I could, but I don't know if I want to do it because I won't be able to. God, why don't I just look for it tonight and then I could just do a quick video showing you guys. Okay, has something to do with it. I don't care what anyone said. Do you think
there you go. There you go. You hold that mentality. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. It's what you feel.
But do you think she was actually there? Because I definitely think she has something to do with it. Manipulation to a degree for sure. If it wasn't for her, this wouldn't have happened. But do you actually think she was there that morning and she took part in it, Sherry? Is that what you're saying?
See, I can't do what you and maybe do. I wouldn't have the patience to sift through every damn bit of evidence because there's so much to go through. But who knows? There could be something in there that really does implicate her. But you guys are gonna.
Oh wait! Somebody wants to come on. Hold on a second.
Hey.
Okay. Well, hey. See, I need your email. Send me here. Let me send you my email. All you got to do is send me an email. Just say, hey, it's me. So, because I send you a link through email.
Law enforcement's huge. They're not stupid. They're very intelligent. They have some of the most intelligent people working for them. So, I mean, for a lot of people to be grasping at straws to where law enforcement would have actually picked up on things already, and just like the routers and stuff like that. Hey, they would have known. They would have known.
Well, no, because they just stopped doing it, though. I give you guys that. They didn't, because they just stopped. He confessed, and they, like Tammy said, that then they just closed the case. They didn't investigate any further. If it was something that jumped out, like it was so obvious, but something like going through those little details of the router, I don't think they put the time into it.
But don't you think the state would still assign somebody and say, hey,
okay, wait one second. Well, hey, I sent my email. Just send me an email that it's you, and then I'll send you a link. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just, curious. Normally, if somebody happens to drop a case, say for instance, an assault case, somebody drops it. Well, the state, that person can drop that case if they want to, but the state's still going to pursue it. And this is what I'm trying to get at, So maybe there just wasn't nothing there that they seen. Or
no, but did they really look really hard,
if
though?
There is, they're still looking. And it's not as many personnel looking at this information now. So it could take a lot of time. You never know. We just don't know. Not yet. If we ever will. I pray to God we do know the truth, but.
All right. Well, hey, I sent you an email, a request. Yay!
Oh, you ain't kidding. You can't see nothing.
Well, then I'll go back. But hold on a second.
Let's see. This is the stuff I want.
And Silverleaf, I'm going to send you one. I saw you here earlier, and I know we talked before where you said you would want to come on. So I'll send you one if you're still here, and if you want to come on. I'll just send some invites, and it's there, so you could come on. You don't have to come on right away, but you could come on whenever, huh?
And I promise I'll be quiet.
No, what do you mean? I mean,
copy.
Oh wait, what is the email? Wait, hold on. I gotta find your email. Hold on, guys. There it is. Okay. Wait. Okay, so why isn't that coming on? Did you get a new email? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so I sent you one too, just in case you want to come on. So, okay, so last time, Silverleaf. Last time it said Sliverleaf, right? The L was before, but did you switch it to, is it Silverleaf or Sliver?
I see. I was wondering the same
because
thing.
Like on your email, it says Sliver, but it says Sliver.
Because when you were
look, it says Sliver.
Yeah.
So but I think she just changed it because I noticed it says Silver now. So maybe did you, right? What were you going to say?
Might want to make sure it's her.
No, it's her, but I'm saying, oh, wait, good question. Maybe it's not. Oh, my gosh. I don't know. Okay, guys, sorry. I'm out. Bunch of women blaming Ed for murders. What are you talking about? I'm not blaming Jen. What do you mean? No. I'm not the only one, but I'm confused why you said that.
See, I missed it.
I thought we were having a debate saying that, that there really isn't evidence yet, at least in my opinion. There really isn't like evidence that I think that she was there.
Yeah, Jim, I mean,
in my opinion, but as far as
put your input
manipulation,
into it,
I mean,
it's not like I'm sticking up for either side. I always try to look at things objectively, but don't get upset and go away mad.
But that's the thing. Got a cramp in my leg. My video was actually doing the opposite. Yeah, I feel like that's why I don't understand.
Put your input in there as well, and you shouldn't be bashed for putting your input in either. I remember the first time I even said, "Man, I really don't think NK did this." Man, did I ever get some backlash on that one? He's like, "Oh no, he's falling in love with her."
I'm like right now, as far as what's out there, I don't think she was there that morning. Of course, nobody knows for sure. I personally don't because I haven't seen evidence that tells me. But
their thoughts.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm open-minded about it. I just personally don't think she was there that morning yet. I mean, I haven't seen anything that shows me that I feel like yes, she was. But I'm just saying, I think there was a lot of manipulation going on with her, whether it,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I guess,
Man.
yeah, Jim's entitled to, send these out, though. No, I'm talking about
trying
me.
to clear me.
Yeah,
like, not
I'm
clear
talking
me,
about
but
me.
try to, because I think maybe I was misunderstood. Go ahead, though.
Yeah.
Man, I'm interrupting. Go ahead, Regan. I'm
You're
sorry.
not, really.
Yes, I am, and my leg is just
Oh, it's
keeps
got a crown.
cramping.
No, what I meant to say is, come back in later on, Jim. Maybe we'll be talking about something that, that's of interest, or replay it, maybe.
Oh, no. Hold on, Whale. Hey, you have it.
Sometimes things just aren't,
Oh, wait, hold on. I got to unmute it.
aren't said when we want them to be said, or seen when we want them to be seen.
I know, Gigi. All of them are wrong. Well, it's not wrong. It's just the one was like what, the UTC or Universal Time, the one on the body cam. It wasn't actually wrong. It was just the time that they went. Well, hey, are you here? Huh. I don't know. I don't hear you. Can you hear me? Let's see what she said. Oh, Sabrina, thanks. Yes, Emma, there you go. My head needs to be convinced. You're right.
Well, hey, say something again.
Oh, thanks, Emma.
I'll see if I can hear her.
What's that? Well, you would see it like going up.
No, you'd see it going.
Do you have you might need to connect your mic if there's an option to connect your mic. I'm backstage. Really? Does it say something about a mic?
Oh. Well, let me go get, backstage.
Gave Chris a key to her apartment before. Yeah, she did. Oh, you're saying because he said that. Yeah, that's true. But supposedly he said she did.
I can't hear you.
Oh! Wait, she's on. Hello? There you are.
Well,
see how it's sideways? But
Yeah,
nobody else sees it sideways.
See?
Do you guys see it sideways? It's fine though, but do you guys see it sideways? Hey, well, hey.
I didn't know she was here at my house. Oh, she just left.
Where'd you go?
Backstage again. That's where all the good stuff
Silverleaf's in the house too. Well, hey, are you there? Say yes. Okay, she was on for a minute and it was working good actually. Let me get Silverleaf. Hey. Oh, we can't hear you. Wait, why can't we hear her? What's going on? No. Is it because I have my phone plugged in?
No, I can't hear her on my phone.
No, because I heard well, hey for a minute.
Yeah.
Huh. Is it saying, is your mic connected?
Silverleaf, you can hear us, right?
Cindy, send me your email. Hold on, let me see if you sent it to me.
Is that better?
Yes, there you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
And hold on, let me just text. Cindy, send me your email to this, and then you can come on too. So how are you, Silverleaf?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you came back on.
Well, thanks for having me. I kind of look like a mess. It
Yeah.
was a hard day at work today.
So how is you said a hard day at work today?
Yes, it was a long day. It was a long day. I just got off like 45 minutes ago. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So have you watched that one, oh man, sorry. Have you watched the, my leg's cramping. So, have you watched did you just whoa.
Everything happens backstage.
It does. It's my chair. It moved and I went, phew.
Oh my God, I thought you were about to fall backwards.
No, it's just my chair falling down.
So have you watched
obnoxious.
that router? What do you think of all that information? Have you seen that? The router information and stuff?
No, but here's
Okay.
the other thing. Even if I had seen it, I don't understand technology. I mean, I don't know. But the one thing that I did have a question, I did watch one of your videos. He was like talking, like a couple of days before the murders happened, he was online, and I think something was wrong with their security system, or Shannon was like, hey, there's something wrong with the security system. And so he was fixing the security system. Mm-hmm. Wink, wink, not, I'm fixing it. I'm on it, girlfriend. I'm on it. I'm fixing it. But okay, so I was with Randy. I could have sworn I saw a video also that had a female, but for some reason I was thinking it was like a neighbor, like the police had found that it was a neighbor going in to check because they heard the dog barking or something like that. I don't know.
Huh, so the neighbor had the code, you mean? Or is that wow.
No, the neighbor went to the front. The neighbor went to the door because the dog was barking and barking and barking, and I guess had looked in. I don't know. I can't remember that part.
Okay.
But my question was on the security camera or the security system, because he was fixing it, obviously, because he was leading up to, I'm assuming he was leading up to something, because their security system was working just fine until like a week before or something like that. So does that have anything to do with the router? I mean, was he messing with the router so that the security system wouldn't work?
I mean, there's a good chance, maybe.
It all depends on how that Vivint system was installed. If it was installed through a landline, or if it was installed through the internet, the cable. If it was installed through a landline, it wouldn't have any bearing on it.
Oh, really?
No.
That's why I don't understand that. I was wondering. I don't know.
Because all alarms have got to have its own dedicated line. And if it's through a landline, that's your phone line. But if his phone line is through the cable or the internet, it's going to be through.
Wait, did he have a landline phone number or no?
My guess would be for the house, for the age of the house and for the age of them, I wouldn't think that they would have a landline. But for families that have children, once your children go to an age, once your children are of a certain age, most people should, I would hope most people, even if you're of a young generation, my gosh, the last 10 years of our landline, the only reason we kept the landline was for emergency and child, for children, that kind of thing, because cell phones get misplaced, cell phones lose a charge, and to have that emergency phone right there to be able to make a phone call. I don't know. They're in Colorado. They're in an area where snow country, when you live in snow country, I used to live in snow country.
It's so fun.
You better make sure you've got a secondary line that's hard-coded or hard-lined, because with small children like that leading up to, at one time he loved and cared for them. You would never, especially a babysitter, you would never want a babysitter in that home without a secondary line.
Never.
Of
somewhere in communication.
But I don't know.
Hear me?
Yeah, hey, we can hear you. Yep.
Okay, I'm so sorry because I really didn't want to interrupt. I really didn't. So I just wanted to make sure it was working. So cool.
No, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad I got to come on for a minute. I only have a minute, but
okay.
And it's not like, I do think that definitely the router was messed with, like without a doubt, just at least that night, and if nothing else to, cover up the doorbell activity. But that wasn't what I was coming on to actually talk about. Like just a point that's like been bugging me recently about this is the fact that he is not concerned at all with what NK thinks of him now after the fact. I think it's just like such an overlooked point. And I think the fact that she didn't ever bring up like, oh my God, how hideous that you put these children in oil. Like she never ever once said anything about that. She just talked about how little they were and just really strange, and I'm just like, I just feel like that's so overlooked. And I just think it's such a huge standout thing because he cares about what the whole world thinks of him. But he never once says, she must think I'm such a monster. Never. So
That's a good point. Yeah.
They don't
She
want
loved
to
mom.
entertain it. They don't want
She
to
loved
entertain
mom,
it.
so she created one.
yeah. But besides the fact, I'm a huge fangirl, and I'm really excited to finally get to meet you and Randy and
Oh,
everybody.
I was like, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
that's so
so
sweet.
I'm just like chills. So,
Oh.
but yeah, I don't know. I didn't have much time to chat about it, but I just wanted to like drop in and say hi because I've emailed you in the past, and I'm like, I want to be part of it. So. I hope to,
Yay,
like,
okay.
get more to stop
We'll come
anymore.
back another time when you when you have more time too. Awesome. Thank
And
you.
if you guys ever want any technical advice on this kind of like case stuff, like I really am very technically inclined. That's what I do for a living. So
Oh
I kind of get
shoot.
it.
Well,
Then I have a lot of questions. You don't have a lot of time though, huh? But I definitely want to ask you some stuff
I'm
about.
totally down. Like I can give you like at least like 5 minutes. So like I don't mind that. My dinner's just running a little late, but that's okay.
See what we do? We call late dinners.
So like what we were talking about the DOS attack. So is that like for a device or could it be like a site though? That's
For that doesn't sound like anything I'm at all familiar with. So if somebody's gonna need to clue me in on that, but a DOS attack, that just doesn't sound, unless it's some sort of jailbreaking that I'm not aware of. But and again, you kind of have to look at how smart CW was in all this, and he really wasn't that. I don't think he was that thoughtful.
Oh no!
So
Oh
I
no!
don't think a whole
No!
lot went into it other than trying to evade like his wife's eye most of the time. You know, I mean, I don't know.
no,
That's
yeah.
kind of
So
my opinion.
it does make
You'd
me
have to
wanna-
be in the industry to kind of know, like, to really think about that kind of stuff. I would think, you're not just going to go, people are going to be looking at this.
Exactly. That's where I was trying to get at with it. Well, hey, yes.
Well, thanks. Yeah, well, I'll probably have more questions, and I can't think of anything right now, but I know those.
They'll call you right after dinner. Well, hey.
Yeah, come
In
back
case
after dinner.
anybody wonders, though, I absolutely do not think the law enforcement was able to recover those texts. Like, fact, I think once they are deleted in the fashion that she deleted them, they were never going to be able to retrieve those.
But do you think that Apple is still the issue with this, though?
I think once it's deleted off the server, and that's kind of a user sort of thing, I think once it's deleted, and nobody can recover it. It's not.
Who deleted it?
She did.
She did.
Which
she
which
deleted
she?
all of her texts.
Oh,
She broke
NK.
them.
Oh, she did?
She erased her phone and set it back up. She took extreme measures to get rid of that information.
Huh.
And breaking her SIM didn't really do her any good, but she did everything she could do.
She did.
The iPhone user, if it's deleted, it's deleted. Like there's
so
no
it doesn't
getting it
go
back.
like your text messages and stuff. That doesn't go to the iCloud.
It does, but like that's the beauty of the product is that it gets deleted off the server when the user deletes it.
And the server being the iCloud as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, police are not going to be able to get that back. Same way that they can't get into terrorist phones and stuff like that. It's, there's laws. You thank your lucky stars that there are those privacy laws. But unfortunately for this case, it was a total, she totally screwed law enforcement by deleting.
And many others. Yeah. So, well, hey, can you please tell me and everybody else, where is the iCloud?
The iCloud is I don't know exactly where it would be, but it is a set of servers. Like if you just picture just a building holding a bunch of computers, that's what it is.
That's basically okay. I think it's a world age question.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely, and it should be probably as protected as our Fort Knox.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Wait, I want to ask one quick question. Why are they able to get other texts like that are deleted all the time though? I don't get it.
A lot of times in the previous cases we've all come to know in these cases, a lot of times those were SMS messages. Those are between either Android users or flip phone users. So in the past, when you've seen them be able to recover it, your phone company doesn't give a crap about your privacy. But your phone maker, in the case of Apple, would. So that's the difference there. It's all in how the software works.
You rock. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks. I may have some more questions once I think. But
No,
yeah,
I know
thank
the
you.
iCloud's down in the sky.
In the sky. I know. I can never get to my eye.
I thought it was a floating blimp somewhere. I don't
Yeah, like, and my final message to everybody: please learn your passwords. It's super important. It's just so important to learn your passwords. Like, do whatever you have to do, write them down, because you could also die. So just write down your passwords for people, just in case. And I'll leave it on that.
Well,
that's my little piece of tech advice. But
no, I agree.
Right.
I agree.
like so grateful I got to get that off my chest, like, because I've always been wanting to say this, but I feel so long-winded in the comments, but so thank you guys for letting me
thanks. Yeah, come back
so.
again. Definitely enjoy your dinner.
Right on, you guys too, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Okay, save some for us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You're silly.
So the iCloud, it's probably in Utah.
It's probably in Colorado, actually, in the NORAD mountains.
Well, so in Utah, right outside of Harriman, there is, years ago, they spent, an absurd, and when I say an absurd amount of money, an absolute absurd amount of money. It's out there. They have the water that's able to do the coolant. And if I remember right, I want to say it was Provo or Lehigh. They went ahead and did up like all these neighborhoods for free, everything. They were the first test sites for everything as far as ordering food, doing kids' homework assignments, doing everything virtual assistant, all of that kind of stuff. And now that whole area is known as Silicon Slopes. So it was Senator Hatch. He was the one who made sure that all of that funding and all of that was done. If you go on the other side of the mountains, that is where the prominent church of the location, they have in the mountains, there's like only 1 or 2 people that are actually allowed into that space. And that's where they hold all of their records. So you have one set of records on one side of the bowl, and then you have records held on the other side.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And that area, it holds pretty much all of the communications throughout the world. And from what the rumors are, is that only a fraction of that space that was built is being used. It has the capacity to hold just an absolute absurd amount. And of course, they would love to get a hold of Apple's technology as far as the break. So I guess if you're going to do anything illegal, make sure you have an iPhone.
Yeah, apparently.
That's a good.
There we go.
Hey, Cindy, I don't have your email. You said you emailed me. Did you email? I don't have it. Do you have? Let me give you my email again.
You'll be the first time.
But you're right. I thought about that. Like Apple is, if you are going to do something
nefarious.
Those channels telling everybody to get iPhones and go rob a bank.
I got it. Do you have an iPhone?
Me?
Yeah. No, that's what I have. But
no,
I like Androids better. But
I after the 5C. Yeah, it was a 5C because we had 3, 4, 5, and I get to 5C. After
5C, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I had the 5C.
I don't know what a 5C is.
It's just a colored Apple phone, basically.
Oh. Like, I don't know what it is. No, for entertainment, I use Apple, but for work, I use Android.
Okay. Android, you have a lot more room, a lot more space to do things. And another thing I like about Android is there's like apps where you can get the music for music downloads. You can't with Apple.
I used to love Apple, and then when I found out you got to start paying for your music.
Yeah, it's like,
are you kidding me?
They give you like a month free of the Apple Music, but then if you download anything on it, then you can't you don't get it. So I was like, oh cool, I'll have it for a month and I'll download a bunch of music, but then once the month's up, it's gone. You don't get to keep that.
Make sure you put it in your cloud. Put it in that cloud. Right
but you can also, so on the Android, you can also use a SIM card, which is like crazy. Yes. Seriously, you could have a SIM card, but then you also on the bottom on mine, if I need more space, which I don't, but if I did, I can do the little jump thing, thumb drive or whatever,
Yeah.
download that and plug it in and out and in and out as I see fit. So I guess if you're going to be nefarious, have a thumb drive that has it all someplace else and just plug it in your phone and take it out when you're done being nefarious.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Was your name Silverleaf before? Because that L was first. I was right.
It was, because I even heard you call her Silverleaf last time. And I was like, oh my God, she's
That's what it
But
said.
then when I looked, because I was like, no, that's Silverleaf. And I put my glasses on, I looked at the screen, it's Silverleaf. I'm like,
I know.
oh man.
Okay, so there's a story. I don't know if anybody really wants to know the story, but it's my life. If you get to know me, you realize on some aspects I'm really, really bright on things, and other aspects of life, it's like you are such a dork. So years and years and years ago, my daughter set up certain things for me, like Facebook and all this, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. And then my sister, we were doing some kind of gaming or something, and I can't remember. And I got into this group where they were like hardcore gamers, like big time gamers. And this is like when YouTube just started kind of coming out. And I think it was like a dating site at first. And I'm like, I'm not going on a dating site. And they're like, no, we're having this meeting. I'm like, we're having this meeting for what? And they're like, for this victory thing that we're doing. And I'm like, the victory thing we're doing? They're like, yeah, we're going to go attack these people. I'm like, who? What are we talking about? And they're like, the game. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Seriously? This is a game. I don't even know what we're doing. I just used to play this game when my daughter was doing her homework. I sat there to make sure she'd do her homework. And so I'm playing this stupid game. And so they went in and they set up everybody's YouTube channels or things or whatever this is, so that we could go in and have our meetings of how to conquer the other team. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So they set it. They set it up as, and it was supposed to be the Silverleaf, but they set it up as Sliverleaf, and it wasn't until this is like for years it's been this, and it wasn't until I had my glasses on the other night, and you guys had said, "Oh, wait, Sliverleaf," and I was like, "Wait, Sliverleaf?" I'm like, it's not Sliverleaf, it's Silverleaf. And then I realized, I'm like, oh, they spelt it wrong. And I'm like, okay, they're really great at war, but they're really horrible at spelling. So I went in and changed it. Because I'm like, people are going to think Sliverleaf, like what, Hogsworth? Hogsworth or whatever. It's like, whatever. So anyway, that's the story. How I got this name was just because somebody went in and typed it in, and I didn't even realize you could change it till like last week. And then I was like, oh, you can only change it 3 times, and it's already been changed 3 times. So now I'm stuck with whatever this is. So I can't change it. So now I'm just stuck with this name.
Well, good. I was wondering about that. You got it. Oh, yeah.
So now I've bored all of your people who want to talk about things. So
no,
okay.
I've been wondering that seriously. I'm like,
I've been wondering the same thing. So we're all copacetic now. Okay. So the questions that I had from last time, and I'm so sorry. Like, I have to see, am I like boring your people so bad they're jumping offline? Okay.
no,
good.
some people said they loved your hair. You have a nice smile. They love
thanks.
you. Yeah.
I got it cut. So it looks
nice.
it's growing out. It's growing out. So, and I think I'm going to keep it this way. I mean, if people saw what I looked like before, it was really super long, dark hair.
Okay.
I was a hot mama. I was a hot mama back then, not so much anymore.
No.
Okay, so the question I have is, what case, so I guess my question was, how did you come across this case, and how did you know that it was going to become like this internet sensation? Is it because he did so many stupid things online? Is that how you knew? Or
I didn't really. No, I didn't necessarily know. I just was interested in it. But I didn't know it was going to be as big as it was. No, not at all.
No.
But I was spending so much time. I'm embarrassed how much time I was spending on like researching and going over the videos and going over the discovery and just trying to find things that I just decided to make a video on it, because my nephews had a channel actually that I did the editing for my nephew's channel. So I was loving getting into the editing and trying to learn like different things with the editing. So I was doing their channel, and then I started researching Watts. So I just did a video and I put it out there, and I don't know.
And then that's history.
And I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
But I love true crime. I mean, like, me and my sister used to. I mean, you and me, actually, we spent hours researching cases. But as far, I definitely started with the Chris Watts one, but I didn't know it was going to be this big. No, because it was like right at first.
Them numbers. When we first did that, I was keeping track of all the numbers, and so really, it was freaking crazy. Every night I would look at these numbers, and at first I was like every 2 hours, and then every 3 hours. And 24 hours, then I'm back there. It was nuts, just because it was Chris Watts.
But I spent a lot of time watching Shanann videos too. I feel like I watched a lot of hers first for some reason.
It's just crazy.
You know, her videos with the kids and stuff. So,
so many people were involved in this. They just
So is it a hobby? I mean, okay, so true crime is a hobby, but is like videoing and true crime, is that without like you divulging too much of who you are or anything like that? Is this what you do kind of like in your real life?
This is what I'm trying to do in my real life.
Okay. Well, but do you have experience? Like, do you have experience with videoing, researching?
Besides this, is that what you're saying?
Yes. So like you seem to be very natural in a lot of your researching, a lot of your videoing. I mean, obviously your editing now kind of makes sense. But I mean, for someone like me who hates technology, and technology pretty much hates me too, but how you can put the videos together and like you focus in and focus out and then slow it down and speed it up and all of that. I'm like, that's some serious stuff.
Yeah, I just taught myself when I was doing my nephews. I love it actually, all the different things. I just kind of messed around and just.
So your day job wasn't anything of any of these categories?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. You're actually very, very good at it.
Is she not?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So another question. It's like, hey, I'm turning the tables on you because I'm so curious. I just want to know.
I love this.
What was the first true crime that captivated you? Like you were talking about your sister. What was the first true crime that captivated you, that kind of hooked you and got you going?
Charles Manson, actually. But this was like, I know before my time, but when I was in like 7th and 8th grade, that's what made me want to get into psychology, actually.
Really?
So, yeah, because I was interested in like criminal psychology and like his mind. Like I read like Helter Skelter and just his mind. I remember being on my dad's computer, like researching Charles Manson, and it made me like, I always felt like, man, I could figure these people out and maybe change them. Now I know better, like narcissists, and you're not going to be able to really change them. But like, I felt like that, when you're young, I was like 13 or 14 years old. I just had this passion that I felt like I could make a difference and like change these criminals.
But now you're changing.
It made me stay with psychology. The passion stayed like the whole time. I knew what I wanted to do in college. Like psychology, it never changed. Yeah, but. I have my bachelor's in psychology, and I guess I should have been smarter in my choice as far as job-wise, but I love the schooling. I mean, I loved learning this. I love learning in college.
So how did you find Charles Manson? Because YouTube wouldn't, you're not old, so it's not like you found it on YouTube. Was it probably like one of those stories on TV where it was like the revisit of this or the revisit of that?
I don't know. I can't remember how. That's a good question. Let me think about it and I'll get back to you because I can't remember how. But because there was no like internet back then where it would have been like, I was on YouTube or there was internet, but you know what I mean? Like,
right.
It wasn't like it is today, and I was so young. So
it was all DOS.
It must have been something TV, but I don't know for sure. I don't know. Let me think about that. But,
for me, it was my father had been a police officer in California, and I just remember there was a documentary. Well, it was a movie documentary or whatever on the Onion Field killers, and it was just because they had killed police, and so because my father being a police officer, and that is kind of what got me started like in the true crime. And normally I like to try to follow true crime when I can. Now, obviously last year was a little bit of a sideline, a little sidetrack. So but it's funny because those were, well, okay, not funny. I don't mean ha ha funny, but interesting funny is that time frame was a very particular time frame. It's weird how when you jump into society where things kind of ebb and flow, Jack the Ripper. I mean, let's be honest, there's a million Jack the Rippers out there.
Yes.
But I think the first book that I read that really captivated me was really just like maybe 15 years ago. And it was the Lizzie Borden. And it was very interesting how things trigger in your memory. And it was all based off of a woman. I think it was a woman. She was a child or something like that. And it was a smell. A smell is what captivated the whole thing, and how that smell is who led to the killer, the ultimate killer of who they believe, Lizzie Borden. Lizzie Borden was not the one who killed it was her stepbrother.
No.
Well, I don't know that case, huh?
Yeah, it's well, okay.
I've heard of it, but not familiar. Like, it sounds familiar, but I don't know it.
Yeah.
It was like late 1800s. It was she and her sister, slightly spinster-ish. Father very wealthy, but he won't spend a lot of money. It was a summer day. They were outside cleaning. They had a maid. They were outside cleaning windows, so forth and so on. She comes into the house. Her parents are stepmom is upstairs cleaning, doing bedrooms, that kind of thing. Dad is in the study, library study, open room, family room, whatever you want to call it today. She leaves, she goes back outside. Supposedly they come back in 10 minutes later. Dad is like brutally stabbed. And then they go upstairs and they find that the stepmother in one of the bedrooms has been brutally stabbed also. And that's where there's a song that goes into it. It's like Lizzie Borden, 50 hacks, gave her mother another one back or something like that.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, back in the day to have females, this kind of thing, but the book was a really good book because it went through how and why Lizzie was the one who actually set it up to make sure that she was prosecuted for the crime, because she found out there was a stepbrother. Her father had stepped out on her mom. And back in the day, if there was a male, all of the inheritance would go to a male, not to a female. She wanted to make sure that the inheritance stayed with her. So she was willing to take the quote unquote rap.
That's crazy.
Knowing that 12-man jury would never convict a female. So she went through it so that she could collect and make sure that she stayed the ultimate heir, and that the money would pass to her and not to the stepbrother.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
Wow.
It's according to this book. It's all according to this book. Who knows? But
No, Cadle didn't write that book, did she?
Oh, your son.
no. So I will say, when I heard her on somebody had interviewed her. It's the guy out of Denver, Colorado. He's an attorney. Anyway, he's an attorney. When I saw her, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm calling BS on this one. There is no way. And because there had been something that I had read, and I was like, oh, this woman is a complete liar. Like, she's a complete and utter liar. And then all of a sudden at the end, he was like totally digging on her. And I was like, oh, well, apparently I'm wrong. And I'm like, well, I still think there's something real shady about her. Shady as all get out. And then I thought, oh, well, maybe there's something wrong with me. I misread this one. And then it was like a month later, everyone's like, oh, guess what? And I'm like, well, duh. And like, we had the one that was down here in Austin, the mother who had delivered her baby, and like the baby was a week old, and everyone thought the fiance had killed them. And I remember talking to my husband, and I'm like, because he was giving the interviews and he wouldn't talk to anybody face to face. And my husband's like, what do you think about that one? And I'm like, no, this guy didn't do it. And I'm all, number one, it would take cojones to pull a body out of one of those apartments there. And that kid doesn't have that capacity to do that. He is socially awkward. He's not someone that speaks to people. He doesn't have the ability to look at people face to face. And now he's under extreme distress. And I'm like, somebody lured her out of that apartment, because there's no way she left that apartment dead, because those apartments, no. no one's going to pull a dead body at that time of day out. It's way too risky to do. And then all of a sudden my husband came home one day and he goes, well, you called that one, girl. He said, and I'm like, no, what happened? He goes, oh, he said, it was her best friend. I'm like, oh, snap. Didn't see that one.
Wow, man, what's up with these best friends? Like, I think we talked about the Megan one when you were on last time with Heidi. Were you following that one?
Which one was that one? I'm sorry.
Megan Firamuska or whatever, how she, her best friend, it just reminded me because it was Heidi's best friend. Did you follow that case? It's still, I mean, she just got indicted or whatever, but wait, did she get charged with murder?
I think.
To steal, the one that stole her baby.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one here in.
Oh my gosh. Now I feel like the biggest idiot. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. And she was at the hospital. She was at the hospital when the baby was born.
Yeah, right.
Well, maybe she wasn't at the time the baby was born, but like as soon as the baby was born, she was then there at the hospital.
That's what the boyfriend said, right?
You said, so you're saying people are thinking she was dead first? Is that what you said, though? That's why I'm confused.
Okay, so people were, at least around here, people were saying that he killed her.
Oh,
that the fiance killed her. And I told my husband, no, because everyone was like, oh, he's kind of sketchy. He's like Chris Watts. He can't do this. He can't do that. And I was looking at him all like, no. He's very socially, he's just there. And now you're putting him on the spot in front of a camera. And it's a very scary thing. You know, the love of his life is missing. His baby is missing. He's under extreme distress. And I was just saying distress. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. And those apartments, you would have to have such bravery to be able to pull somebody out of that apartment dead. Somebody would have.
I see. Yeah, you're right.
Pull that body. So I was like, no, there's no way. Number one, he's just socially inept. It's not his game. It's not his whatever. I was like, somebody had to have drawn her out of that apartment because you can't move a body like that in the middle of the daytime without someone seeing something or being very sketchy in doing that.
So, being very sketchy in doing it, correct.
Yes. Like it would be very, very difficult to, I'm not saying impossible, but yeah, that's not going to be something that's going to happen.
To perform an act like that out in public in the daytime.
Yeah.
To be able to act like nothing's wrong. You know,
right.
Yeah, no, he was
good call because I was wrong. I thought it was him too.
Well,
oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
The thing is,
no, wait, why are you sorry? How do I take this off? Hold on. No, you don't have to be sorry. I was just saying, I don't know how to do. Hold on one second. I'm sorry that I can't believe that you told the whole story and stupid me was not even following. I feel like an idiot, but I was trying to email invites too. Now I'm sorry. I don't want you to think like I'm not like.
Hey,
that's why I said that because I was like thinking, wait, that sounds like that case. That's why I brought it up, but I didn't hear.
Well, let's be honest. In today's day and world, we have multiples of these. It's I shouldn't say interesting, but there's a lot. I mean, there is a tremendous amount of these guys, and it's like, guys, you know, I'm sorry, but this is kind of what divorce court's all about.
What in the hell ever happened to? I want a divorce. What
absolutely.
Now it's, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
Right, absolutely. And it kind of sounds like, I mean, I don't know Shanann. I have no idea about her whatsoever, but I kind of get the idea that Shanann was kind of a, you know, I don't know if we're allowed to say this, but she was kind of like a badass. And she would have been like, you know what, forget it. I don't care. I don't need your support anyway.
Exactly.
I go live my own life. I go live my own life. And I don't need your money. I'll do it my own. So she probably would have been willing to sign something that at court that said, just you go your way, I go my way. You take half the debt, I take half my debt. I'll support us. I don't need anything from you. Cut ties, go live your life.
That's it. So
no, she would have been
simple as that. And it is that simple.
That's simple.
Yeah, but not for a stupid guy like
her.
Hey, Cindy.
Hey, Tiff. Hi, Randy. Hi, Silverleaf.
Hey, Cindy. How are you?
Email. My bad.
I'm going to go ahead and bounce out so that you can interview her and do her thing. We'll catch up later.
Okay, yeah, thanks for coming on. Thank you so much.
good.
Yeah,
Bye, guys.
please come on again, seriously.
Happy to. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't leave on my account.
Take care.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Cindy, yeah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm happy to be, but I have to clarify something before we start talking about anything, okay?
Okay.
I'm the one that emailed you and told you about the 2-hour difference.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
never ever think you are so open-minded. I never ever thought or think ever that you're defending or whatever. It wasn't that at all. I just remembered way back in my head, like a couple months ago, watching somebody's channel and them explaining it was 2 hours behind. So that's why I emailed you to tell you that. But it wasn't because I thought, I think I even added in there that I love your channel. So
Yeah, no, that definitely. Yeah,
you
I
are
remember that. Yeah.
so open-minded, Tiff. Come on, nobody would think that you're like defending her or like trying to prove she wasn't there. No. So
Aw.
I had
It's
to
her
clarify.
subscribers don't at least.
Thank you.
know?
Wow,
Yeah.
that
No,
makes
you're-
me feel
that's
good.
true.
But I
Aw.
think there were some other things that came out, like Dr. B, who I think is awesome and brilliant. I didn't start really paying attention to her or following her until like recently, maybe the last 6 weeks, 2 months. And from what I understand, like she never thought that NK was there. She always fought armchair on that, from what I've been told or read.
Oh.
And she fought it for like the longest time until she started seeing facts. Kind of like maybe, what you would want to see. And then when she started putting things together, she has had a total turnaround now. Based on things picked up. And I think there were some other things. Now, you were right in a lot of things too, though. Just because of that 2-hour difference, threw that off, you made some valid points too, okay? But there were some other interesting things that came up. Like the next day, every day, she would call Chris on her way to work. That's the only morning she didn't call him. So, like,
really?
Yeah. If you look at her phone bill, she called him every morning.
Wow.
They spoke every single morning. Either he called her or she called him. Somewhere between like 5:15, 6:15. That's the only morning that they didn't talk by phone. Why? Because, was it because she was there? Just saying.
I didn't realize that. Wow. Okay.
Somebody brought that up. And the other thing is, if you look at his phone from that day, he was doing a lot of text messaging when he got there, like at 6:45, was it? Did he get there? Somewhere around there. He was text messaging. He was Googling the Primrose School for the number, obviously. He called the Primrose School. He was text messaging Troy and with other people. And there was only like maybe in between these text messages and Googling and phone calls, maybe 15, 16 minutes. There was no big, lapse between it. So when did he have time to do all this? Like he had to get there, and I don't want to repeat what he did. We all know what he did.
No, he did text a lot in that period. Yep, you're right.
Really and I never really studied those his phone records until Dr. B put them up on the spreadsheet. And it makes a lot of sense if you look at it. When did he have the time to do all this?
I mean, so wait, what are you thinking? So you think that the NK was actually there at the site with him too?
Well,
Is that
I don't know if it was she at the site, but I think he had help. And I've always thought that because I've always thought there was just too much that had to get done for him to have done that on his own. And the other thing is too, it shows that the DirecTV went on like a half hour after he left the house that morning. Like, who put the DirecTV on?
So is that for sure going on, not off, right?
I thought it was on. I could be wrong. I don't know.
But I don't know what that means. Okay. Another thing is, could it be like a recording, like the DVR, or no?
I don't know. It could be. I don't know. And that's the only time too, Tiff, that her phone ever pinged in Frederick. She drives to work every single day, and that was the only day, the morning of the murders, that her phone pinged in Frederick.
But okay, but we only only have a month of record, right? But still, yeah, you're right. I mean,
I don't know. It just, and
it is weird. It is weird. Yeah,
it's weird.
You're right. It is. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm just gonna.
That's why I say, maybe there's still something going on out here, and they're just not. I mean,
but do you think they're still looking into it though?
There's so many things flying around. But Dr. B, I mean, she presents a pretty strong case, and for someone who was adamantly, a believer that she wasn't there, to turn it around, you gotta stand up and pay attention to that a little bit. And
yeah, you see new things every day. You catch new things, and therefore it'll change your mind. But one thing that doesn't change is true justice, and to get that, it takes a lot of time. Law enforcement has to go through so many steps, so much paperwork, so many affidavits, so many warrants, so many searches. Paperwork to get out there for these cases takes years and years and years and years and years. So maybe there is something going on.
Somebody's saying on chat it was 2 months worth of phone records.
Okay, 2 months. Okay.
So I mean,
you're right. There was 2
months. So every morning, especially 5:15, 5:20. Oh, and that was the only morning she didn't clock in that morning.
Oh, she did it? I just didn't. I was wondering.
Where did we see? Where are we seeing?
Who said that she
that afternoon? But she never clocked in that day, the 13th.
But how do we know that?
How are we seeing the time cards?
That was in the discovery, from what I understand.
Okay, I've been looking for the time so much. I couldn't find a time that she clocked in. Maybe people are. Do you think people are just saying that because we can't find a time? That means she didn't, but does it mean she didn't?
Maybe I shouldn't put it out. It was in the discovery because I don't have any page numbers to back it, but. And maybe somebody I would know.
There's so much stuff in the discovery that I miss things when I go over it again. It's like, whoa, I didn't see this last time, or I didn't see that. So it could be, but I searched. I was trying to find that answer, and I couldn't find it. But I would like to see.
Have you ever watched True Crime in Colorado? That channel?
I believe I think I did a while ago. Yeah.
It's a bunch of young girls from Colorado. They've been working on this case. They did a series called Unmasking NK. And let me tell you something. It is phenomenal. Watch each of those videos. They're like less than an hour, less than 45 minutes. Some of them are only 30 minutes. Do yourself a favor, sit down and watch 1 to 6. There's going to be another one coming out like this week, because they left us hanging. They've been in communication with somebody who talks to Chris in prison, and this is how they left us, the last video. And from what they could tell, I'm sorry, I have a bulldog barking. From what I could tell, from how they left us, Chris misses NK terribly, from what they say. He's still in love with her. He did not cry over Shanann until like the anniversary a year later. Shh, I'm sorry, my dog. And the anniversary of the sand, something happened that weekend of the sand dune. Something happened, and it was very traumatic for him this past year, according to this person who has spoken to Chris in prison. But whatever happened the weekend of the sand dune, it was and he had like almost like a meltdown this past year with that anniversary. And that's how they kind of left it. I mean, there's a bunch of other information in there. These gals are unbelievable. And they're going to be putting out like the next one within the week, because people have been asking for it. But just watch one, I think there's 6 out. Watch 1 to 6 over the weekend. And you'll learn a lot.
Is it a prisoner you're saying that they're talking to, or?
I don't think it's a prisoner. They didn't say. And they have a few thoughts on it, but they wanted to do a little more investigating before they put it out there. But, and the other thing is this, in your chat, you have a gal named Megan J, and she has her own channel, and she does a great job too. And she has been saying all along, and she put up proof to prove it on her channel, that those text messages could have been recovered. And she went through the steps of what needed to be done. Maybe she could email you, maybe she could even come on to explain what needed to be done, but she put it all out there, what needed to be done to access those texts. And the thing that really annoys me is when people say, oh, but she turned herself in, she went to the police. She only went to the police.
She's coming her ass.
The guy in Anadarko that next day turned over the emails between them.
Yeah, that's the only reason. Yeah, she would definitely not have. Yeah, you're right.
And you know what? They had police at her apartment the next day under surveillance watching for Chris. They knew about her by Tuesday.
Yeah, that she didn't. She wanted to hurry up and get in with the cops.
You know, there's a lot out there. It's just, I mean, I think that there was an injustice done by not investigating further or deeper. I mean, there's a lot of wacky conspiracy theories too, you know, and you don't have to believe everything that's out there, but there's enough stuff out there that makes you, you know, pay attention.
That's the sad part. He pled guilty. They had to stop it.
I have a question. Yeah, but sometimes there could be other people.
I know, but that just, it stops all that mass workload. It does.
But so why didn't they?
People are investigating.
So if you can't find the text, why didn't they though? I don't understand.
I don't know. And think about it. There were hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of texts between NK and Chris. They recovered like less than 50. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I sort of have to agree with I'm not sure, exactly what her expertise is, but she sounds very knowledgeable. So, I feel
like they did try, but maybe they did try. It seemed like they were, because it seemed like they were concerned because she deleted them. So I feel like they did try, but before he even confessed, or before he took the plea, right? Didn't they? They were trying before that. So this was when they thought they might have to go to trial. So, but I wonder though, like you're saying though, it could be a little bit of truth in both of it. Maybe if they went to trial, there was something else they could have done further to make, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they just stopped.
Right. If you go to Megan J's channel, it's just Megan, MEGAN, and I think she's in your chat. Megan,
I think I sent her a link. I didn't even know she had a channel.
And if you go back a few of her videos are like shorter in length. She puts it's very convincing what she puts out there with the text messages and what they could have done, to retrieve them. I don't know. You would think if everything was closed, all right, if the case was truly closed and they weren't, investigating, that they would come out and say it so everybody shuts up. Like, look, it's over, it's done, the case is
But they
closed.
did on those shows. Didn't Rourke say it? He said the case is closed. He said it like every show.
I'm talking like not on an ID Discovery channel. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking like press conference or something, That's just my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. They should.
Like,
so maybe
that's something you do. You don't clear somebody or stop suspicion on somebody on ID Discovery channel,
Yeah.
It was such a huge case. Then come out there with a press conference and say, look, stop it. The case is closed. We have what we want. Nobody else was involved. But there's just so much out there that, and then other people take it wacky where they say he couldn't have done it. It wasn't his personality. The guy couldn't do anything on his own. He needed a woman telling him to do everything in life. First his mother, then Shanann, and then NK. Was he really capable of doing this on his? Oh my God, it's so freaky when you think about it. The way you saw him with those girls, and then.
I know. It's. I don't know. It's just. So you think that she was there that morning then? Is that what you were saying? Is that what you're leaning more towards?
Well, I always thought she played a role. I did.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do too, definitely, yeah.
You know, I'm not saying she was the one that caused the actual death, but I do feel she played a role in this. But then after seeing what Dr. B had to present, and even before that with the ping in Frederick and a few other things, it really made me wonder, you know. And then the other one thing is, I mean, I don't know how you feel about, you know, some people are saying, you know, I know that you don't think that it was two people coming out of the garage that day. What was it? Geneva Fame had a video up, and that's okay because, you know, you're kind of on the fence about it. I get why you think it was, you know, just one person, but when you look at that, you can't help wonder, like, it seemed to have a different role. I mean, when you put it all together, and I mean, and Betty, nobody gives Betty the credit she deserves. The next door neighbor, she's smart and she's sharp and she knows what she saw that morning. And she did say that there was a silver metal gray truck, gunmetal gray truck there that morning. And it was there till almost noon. Okay. I mean, she's not.
But wasn't Nicole Atkinson there like before that though? Wasn't she there?
She didn't get there until like 12:30.
12:30. Okay.
She left to go to the doctor to see if Janine showed up at the doctor. While she was gone, the Vivian alerted that the garage door was open. Okay, and it wasn't because, you know, Nicole Atkinson's son pulled on it. They were not there. Okay, police were not there. Nicole was not there. They were at the doctor's office checking on Shanann. While they were gone, that garage door opened. Okay, was NK there? And then did she like, holy crap, what am I going to do? Somebody's here. And then when she saw them leave, she took her chance and left. I don't know. It's hard stuff to ignore. And then she saw that truck there. And she knew what she was talking about. But because she's a little older, people like to say, oh, she's confused and she's this and she's that. No. Out of everybody in that neighborhood that they questioned, she knew what she was talking about. She knows what she saw. Here's a woman who gets up every day and goes to the gym and works out. And she knows what's going on. So, I mean, there's just so much. I just think there's enough compelling, you know, stuff out there that, you know, it's not like I want to see somebody, you know, go down for this, but if somebody else is responsible or a few other people are responsible for this horrific, most, you know, horrible, tragic event, they should pay the price.
No, I mean, I agree. Yes. If she's responsible for this, yes, she definitely needs to pay the, you know.
I mean, and I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying this in defense of Chris or Chris didn't do it. No way. All right. He is just scum of the earth. Okay. But
do you think he'll ever turn on her? Like once he realizes, you know, that she's not coming to visit him or talking to him, do you think he will?
No. They say, you know, he's a different breed, that guy. You know, he had no girlfriends before he met Shanann. You know, and then supposedly he fell in love with Shanann, and I do believe he loved her. I do. And I don't know what happened, but maybe NK was just too much of a temptress for him, or come on, we all know girls like that. Let's face it, you know. I don't know, you know, he talks about the dark stuff that went on in her apartment. I mean, what's that all about? He says he's going to take it to his grave, or is he BSing us? I don't know, but
I know. I don't know. Like, I don't even know if I would, if he comes out and says that, if I would believe him, because then I would think, well, maybe he's mad at her because, you know, she's not talking to him, and he knows we all think, you know, a lot of people think she did it. So it's easy for him to say that and everybody's going to believe it. But I don't know. Right. I mean, it's going to be hard to believe him either way, I think.
I know. So, I mean, the guy is a liar. He's already lied how many times? You can't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. You really can't.
But maybe there's some kind of something that he could tell, like the investigators, if he did come out, that would prove what he was saying was true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And when they stopped that investigation, and you saw, what was it? ID? Was that the one, or Reels, where they interviewed Tammy Lee? She looked upset. Okay, she looked upset over the fact that the clock stopped. We weren't done investigating. Okay, I mean there were things that weren't even looked at. Why? I don't know. But footprints on the bag, and did they do any DNA, evidence on anything? I don't know. There was a lot of things that just after that day when he, said he was going to plead guilty. And from what I understand, as soon as they realized that Shanann and the girls were not kidnapped, and Chris, they were off the case, Tammy and Coder, because you put the FBI in for a kidnapping. Once it turned out to be a homicide, it goes back to Frederick Police Department. So Coder and Tammy were off the case. Boy, wouldn't you love to talk to them? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Do you think they're watching? I want to say hi to Dr. B. She's on here now.
Hey, Dr. B.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I know you're giving you kudos.
Oh, thank you. I've been a little obsessed myself with this case, so it's been a work in progress. It's still is.
Well, let's talk about some of your information. So, what was that DDoS attack? What do you make out of that?
Okay, so here's my understanding of the they call them DOS attacks. So DOS.
Oh, sorry, Randy was saying DOS. I don't know, but go ahead.
It stands for denial of service, and so basically, here's how it works. So you have your router at your house that's your internet. That's what your phone connects to. That's what your TV is connected to. And everything that is connected to it, whether it's wireless or whether it's actually plugged in, it sends information back and forth from the device that's connected to the router, to the server. So there's constantly like a flow of information going back and forth. So here's an example. Like if you go to Starbucks and your phone, you get a pop-up message, do you want to connect to this internet? And if you don't have the password saved already for you to automatically connect, your phone is going to read that as a denial of service attack, meaning your phone wanted to connect to this internet, but it couldn't because it didn't have the password, if that makes sense.
So that one that was around the time that when he was talking to NK and about to end the conversation. So what were you thinking that was? That's where I'm confused.
Okay. So as if this wasn't complicated enough, so each of the denial of service attacks come from a source. So each of them, it comes from a certain, they have port numbers, and there are like 3 categories of ports, of internet ports, and each of them have their own purpose. So one of the more popular ones is, it's port 80, for example. And port 80 is used for, just your regular like internet browsing, or it's like the most popular. It's not secure. And then you have, I think they're like level A, B, and C. And I think level C is the secure one. So that's the one where you would store, anytime like you would log into something that's private. So I don't know, if you log into your security system, or if you put in the code to get into your house, that would all go through like this secured port. And so that's what led me to believe that this is what was going on. There was something going on with the security system. There was something going on with the codes, because if you're altering something or doing anything with it, just the flow of information that goes, like I was saying earlier, between the device and the router, it suggests, because there's the denial of service that is more, it can be, a hacker, for example, but in this case it's not, because there's also the regular denial of service attacks that happen. And so because the port was actually, like one of the secure ones, it had to be something that is private, that is related, that's not available for everyone to go into. I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but that's my understanding.
You understand it?
I just catching part of
Well,
it.
let me think. Let me let that all sink in. My brain doesn't work that way. No, I guess I could learn, but I just don't know a ton about it. So, I wish I had the information in front of me, because I did have some questions, but I don't have.
I didn't catch much of what who was
Dr. Yeah, she explained that DOS attack or whatever.
Okay, I'll go back.
But so you're saying, okay, so I'm still a little bit confused. Are you saying that was him logging in with what though? That's what I'm confused. Was it?
Well, that's the part that we don't get from this information.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what are you thinking it is?
Well, hold on. Now I have to look at my log here.
I wish you were here when she was explaining it.
I know, and I was trying to watch the live while I was up there, but for some reason I was getting serious lag.
Okay, so I'm looking at it now, and so we have the Vivint doing whatever it's doing at 10:52, and then at 11:04 there's a DOS attack that's using a secure log or a secure port.
Okay.
And then at 11:15 there's another DOS attack. It's also a secure port. And then at 11:19 the call ends, and then at 11:20 Chris's phone reconnects. So that pattern to me indicates that first of all, in order for Chris's phone to reconnect, it would have to be out of the range of the Wi-Fi. So and in order for him to be out of range, he would have to be away from his house. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, I get that. Yep. I get that last part. I just don't get that DOS attack. That's where I'm a little bit confused on. But,
right. So based on the way that his security system works and the ports that are used in these DOS attacks, like they're used for secure logins. Okay, so there's a line of information that is encrypted, or I don't know how that works, but so yeah.
But does it have something to do with Vivint though? Is that what you're saying, that has something to do with the Vivint security? Is that what you think?
Yeah, well, I don't understand like the whole Vivint system and how it works, and what different like aspects it has. But it has something to do with the security system. So okay. I know that he has the doorbell camera. I know that he has the sensors in the house. I know that he has sensors on every door. I know that he has the alarm system. So each one of those components does something. And so I'm saying it's one of those. I just can't narrow down which one.
Okay, I have one more question that kind of confused me. That one thing that you have labeled as Vivint or whatever at the beginning at 10:52, why does that happen every day, like 3 days in a row at the same time? And the 1047 too, the synchronization, and then the 1052. It's like it's a daily update. It's happening every day at the same time. Why is that? It doesn't seem random at all to me.
Yeah. So that we were discussing it in my group, and I think from people who have Vivint as well, they were saying that they're able to automatically set their alarm to like automatically engage and disengage or something like that. So that's what we're thinking.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any other questions? I wish I had the files, but if I go off, then we won't be able to see. I should have brought my iPad.
I really don't have any questions. My question is how was his alarm system actually installed? And this has a lot to do with
yeah.
You know, it really has. I installed many alarm systems, and it really does. It depends on how his system was set up to answer a lot of these questions. And if you don't have that little bit of,
well, yeah, that's another quick question. I mean, I wish I had it so I could give you the exact thing, but so that part that you have at 1052, the address, the Vivint address, is that what you call it? What did you, were you able to find out what it was? Because that address doesn't match the one from 148. So wouldn't it be the same or no? If it was Vivint, you see what I'm saying?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
What?
I wish I had it on my phone. I can't. Well, you know what? I do have some screenshots on my phone, actually. Hold on.
I mean, I could pull it up if you want.
It's up to you. I mean, if you feel like it, yeah. I'm just curious because I was trying to figure out what address Vivint was. Like, what is the address of it? Like, is there, would
like
it have
the MAC
address?
Is that what you mean? Or the IP address?
or are you talking about physical?
Well, how are we able to pinpoint, like, when it's Vivint, how do we know it's Vivint, basically? There's some kind of number, address connected to it, right, that would say this is Vivint? You know, am I not making sense? I feel stupid because I don't know the terms, the right terms.
Here, I'll just share the screen with you.
Okay.
Because Vivint would have its
Let
own
me know when you see it.
codes.
Yeah, are they called codes or address? I don't know. I kept saying codes, but everybody was like, it's not codes, so I don't know. I have some of the screenshots. Let me see.
I have my screen up for you in the thing, so if you're...
Wait, it's not showing. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. Okay, there we go. Cool. All right, so hold on a second. Let's see. So now everybody could see, so we could...
Jennifer Madison actually brings up a point. She goes, in the discovery, there's a log of what the devices are that appear on the router. Is this what she's showing here?
Wait, say that again?
So there's in the discovery, there's a screenshot of his router.
Yeah, I have that, but it doesn't.
That are connected.
Yeah,
right.
It doesn't show the. Go ahead, though. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't name all of them, so.
And there's where
so basically, yeah, the MAC address or Vivint. What is the address? That's what I've been trying to figure out, because I go back to the 148 time of Shanann getting home, and we know there was a Vivint notification sent or some
on
kind
her
of
phone. That's the difference.
Okay.
This is the router information. They're saying that there was a Vivint alert on her phone, or Chris's phone, or someone's phone.
Okay. Would the Ring, though, send something? Because isn't Ring connected with the Vivint, too, or no? I mean, wouldn't that?
Well,
yeah, it should.
That's what I say. When poor Shanann walked up to the door for the very last freaking time, says, what does the log show in the discovery?
Well, she's saying it's the phone. That's why. So it doesn't, if it wouldn't be the same thing that. But it should. There should be something. You're right. There should be two things, right?
Yeah. So there should be at least, in my opinion, I think there should at least be one of these DOS attacks. But we don't see that. So that's what I found confusing as well. And initially I thought, well, maybe this is what it is. the Technicolor because apparently, I'm sorry if I'm yelling. I guess I don't.
No, you're not. I yell.
Apparently,
Yelling, Dr. B, you sound like Tiffany over here.
you know, I have these headphones that like cancel noise, so I can't even hear myself. So I just like realized when I'm like sweating already that I'm like, oh wait, I need to calm down.
It's all good.
Yeah, so my whole computer freezes when I open this thing. So initially I thought it was a Technicolor. I thought because I guess they manufacture chips for cameras for security systems. I was like, oh, that's a no-brainer. It must be like Ring or something. But then this one is another one of those that happens automatically. And so it's like, okay, well, that rules that out. So we're still doing the research, but yeah, I agree. Like there should be something that happens with the router when the Vivint goes off, because if you look at even like when the cops came, when what's her name, Nicole Atkinson came, like there's all this activity in as at least as like in the form of the DOS attacks. So it definitely should have some sort of activity, but it didn't. And so that's the question, you know, why not?
Dr. B, it's Cindy. Can you explain, I wasn't sure, the direct TV that went around 12:30, was that the TV going on, going off? I couldn't answer
Okay.
that.
So we have two different types of these router, well, more than two, but for this explanation, I guess. So we have the DOS attacks, and then we have the DHCP IP, whatever. So the DHCP ones, when you see those, that means it's connecting to the internet. So the TV could be on, or it could be doing something while it's off.
That's what I was wondering.
Connecting to the internet.
If it's like maybe the DVR is recording something, maybe.
Yeah, like something. Yeah, it could. So it could be triggered, even if it's off. So, for example, there's also like a printer thing on here. So here, it's like an HP device, and I know for my printer, you know, it scares the crap out of me every so often because it'll just like make a noise by itself. So it like resets itself or something. You know, I'm not sure what goes on technically, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it was turned on, but it was connected to the internet for some reason.
So it doesn't necessarily mean somebody was there in the house doing something with it, like, you know, NK put the TV on after Chris left.
No,
right?
it could mean that he was on his app watching a show on his app.
Okay.
You know, it could be anything that would need the internet for it.
Yeah, because I don't believe he was in no deep sleep or really sleeping. If he was planning on murdering, you know, he was probably like jacked up. I mean, I don't believe that he was sleeping. Like he could have been pretending he was sleeping, but there's no way about what he was about to do. There's no way he was sleeping off. Nice.
No, and
Dr. B, that garage door did open like 12 something Monday afternoon after Nicole and her son left for like a half an hour, correct, to go to the doctor. Like it opened and somebody went, like exited, correct?
What time was that?
It was like around 12:15, somewhere between 12:15 and 12:45. It showed that the garage door opened.
Would that be the inner door that they're talking about, not the main garage door? Is that what you're talking about?
Either or, I mean.
Well, either or then, yeah.
Well, there's still...
Nobody was in the house at that time, and no one was there because Nicole and
Well, Nick, remember this? Nicole Atkinson's son set it off a couple times.
Yeah.
He said, "Are you sure it wasn't the same time?"
Right, but no, they proved that it was while they went, because she did a timeline for the police, and they also have her GPS, Nicole Atkinson's GPS.
Yeah,
and it showed.
I put that in here.
Not on Saratoga Trail, or near the house. She was gone for like 30 some minutes. Because by the time they got to the doctor, went in, asked the receptionist if Shanann had showed up. And
Yeah,
they
she
hadn't
came
called
back.
the police yet.
She came back at 1:30. So she was gone because I put her data in here too. So
Okay.
so she left, or they left at 12:47
Okay.
and came back at 1:13. So they were gone for like half an hour, and there's no activity in between there.
Right. And then, but there was the garage door open when there was no one there, supposedly.
Right. So this is what Chris is saying. He also said that. Oh, sorry, I'm yelling again. He also.
You're really not, though. I don't
You're
think
not.
you are at all.
Not.
Oh gosh. He said, he kept saying, where is that? He kept saying that his he got some alerts
Right.
that his garage was left open at like 5:26 or something like that.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
earlier.
Yeah.
And that was nothing. There was nothing in here
Yeah, I don't know
about
what that
that.
was about. Yeah.
That's when he probably
I know.
left.
I looked for
He's
that
just
too.
coming-
I couldn't find. Yeah.
You know, he's behind that.
It's
He
like-
probably opened it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no doubt.
He's definitely, like, there's definitely something shady with the security system.
Wait, I have a question.
Well, see,
Yes.
that
So that means he put on the alarm when he left. Why isn't that on there then?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because
So
it went
what-
off because Nick set it off.
Because he
I
can
don't
shut that
know.
off from his phone.
Yeah, but really?
Yeah.
No, I mean, oh, you mean, but it would still show up as a log that he did it.
But the thing is, what?
And when they set it off, remember? They said they set the garage alarm off. They said it was really loud. Remember they said that?
So
Nick?
he therefore shut off with his phone.
But why isn't it on this information? It's not. So that's why I'm confused on some stuff. And it sounds like, yeah, Dr. B too. It's like, could there be some information that's not on the router? Like you said, the telephone line or something? Is that
It's
possible?
very
I don't know.
That's why I say you have to
So
know how this
confused.
alarm is set up, has been installed. But I do want to say thank you, Dr. B, for coming on here. And this is how this crap should be done. You know, and I pray to God, I didn't catch when you came on, Dr. B. And I'm sorry about that, but I'm just so glad that you came, because you know, I don't know how this happened, but please know, you know, that this is how it should be done. People should work together and don't think that somebody's trying to bash you or
Oh,
discredit
no,
you.
yeah.
Because everything that you're doing and everybody else is out here doing is worth their weight in
Teamwork.
gold.
Yep.
You know?
There's a lot of work into the spreadsheet.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Oh no, I've been, yeah, like I said, like I've been trying to put this together, and I think that even in the last couple of days that this got people's attention. You know, there've been some women that approached me and were like, "Oh, you know, I think you got this wrong," you know, and so I appreciate that, because I want just as much as everyone to figure this out, and as much information as we have, there's still so much that we don't have, and there's so many questions, which is what I was saying too, that I am, you know, trying to request the rest of the discovery with the phone dumps that weren't included. And this is only a sneak peek of like what we do have access to. The reports that they have from their 4 phones, from Shanann's, Chris's personal, his work phone, and Nikki's phone. You know, that would take probably, well, as slow as I was going with this, you know, it'd probably take me like 3 years to like, get everything in order.
Exactly.
But I think that you know, that all answers are in there, and so I think, yes, I heard you saying, Cindy, that I was convinced that NK wasn't there and that she wasn't involved. That, you know, her only involvement was she got, you know, hooked up with the wrong guy. But now I'm like suspicious, because now there's you know, now there's some reasonable doubt. Like there are patterns. You know, like you were saying, like every morning at 5:15 he calls NK And when he gets off the phone with NK, he calls Shanann. And when he gets off the phone with Shanann, he gets in his truck and he leaves for work. So we have that. We have the phone call to NK. We have him calling Shanann in the phone, in the logs, in the discovery, and the GPS data then shows us that he leaves for work. Every morning that is a work day, basically. And we have their first phone contact started in mid-July. So the first time that the pattern started was like July. Oh crap! I can't. Well, actually, I can show you. Yeah, I don't even know why I'm trying to remember. I got it right here. So so every like Monday through Friday, basically, because weekends.
I'm gonna bring it up on my phone so I can see it better. Actually, it's hard to see it on the computer for some reason. All right.
You're getting old. Your eyesight's going on you, kid.
Would it help if I made it bigger?
You can make her laptop bigger. You're good.
No, I got it on my. Oh shoot! I got it on my phone here. Okay, cool. Thanks, though.
All right.
All right.
So here, for example, you have. This is the 16th. So, oh, and the pink is the pink is Nicole. The green is from the discovery, like information from the discovery. And then obviously, like, this is GPS. D means he departed the last address he was at, which was his house right here. So anyway, so 7:16, you have he calls NK, and then he calls Shanann, and at 5:44 he leaves. So that's 7:16. Then 7:17, NK, Shanann, he leaves. 18, 5:15, NK, Shanann, then he adds NK, Shanann, NK, and then he leaves. So then you go to 19, NK, Shanann, and he goes to work. It's a pattern. And so the 20th is probably, oh, never mind. This is at 2 a.m. So 5 a.m. He actually didn't call NK or Shanann this morning. So, okay, that's already breaking a pattern. This was probably
earlier. Yep.
Okay. Then, so this must be like a weekend because we're seeing like a break in the pattern and there's no GPS data, so he didn't go to work. So, so it's probably a weekend.
I think that's the weekend that they went to the Shelby Museum or something.
Yeah, or Bandemere.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Yep. The races. Yep. Right.
Dr. B, did you guys put this spreadsheet together, or is this how this came as your research information?
No, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Did you create this this
Yeah.
the spreadsheet yourself?
She said,
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the 23rd must be Monday because we're right back at it. Nicole, Shanann, and GPS. That's the 23rd, and the 24th. You get the picture. NK, Shanann, go to work. And so this is a pattern. That's what for me, for example, as a psychologist, that's what I look for. That's what helps me predict whether or not someone's gonna recover or not. If someone anyway, so if I'm seeing this pattern and then all of a sudden something huge happens and this pattern is broken, that's a red flag.
And no call on the 13th, right, Dr. B?
Well, yeah, we'll go down. So it keeps going. 7:26, NK, Shanann, work. weekend, you can see they're shorter. And then we're right back at it. And then the 31st, he leaves to North Carolina, but he still has his phone call. And now this is him leaving. So he left, and then this is all while he's in North Carolina. So he's not doing his routine.
Yeah, but did you notice that when he was in North Carolina, they spoke every night, like around 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
That was when he was like ignoring Shanann.
Yeah.
Just so he could have her mad at him so he could get on. And they would talk for like over an hour every night.
Yeah. So here, for example, this is the 8th. NK said in her little typewritten notes that Chris stopped at the Frederick Toyota dealership to pick up some paint and then brought it to her house between 3 and 4:30. Well, we have his GPS data, and he left his place wherever he was working, this 1221, at 2:37, and he went straight to her house. So he did not make any stops at any Toyota dealerships. And he was at her house for 3 hours, and then went home and went to the ultrasound with Shanann while NK is Googling marrying your mistress and talking to Jim.
Huh. So he's the one that said he went to the Toyota place, right?
No, she is. It's in her written notes that she gave to the.
Oh, that's right. Her doc. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So what the heck? Why would she even say that?
Right. He clearly didn't, because she says that he brings it to her between 3 and 4:30. And clearly he didn't bring anything.
Man, huh? Wow. Oh, Brenda, are you listening, or what are you doing?
I'm listening.
And then, well, I just want to wait. What was I? Oh yeah, and just want to show on the 13th. All right. So on the 13th, there's no call. There's no call with Chris, but she does call Jim at 6:16, which is the infamous phone call. So yeah, like it's.
Well,
it's
I never quite
interesting.
seen it like that with the phone calls that he makes. So you're saying he doesn't make that phone call that morning to her then? So that's the only morning that you're seeing that? Huh.
Yeah,
wow.
No. And then also the night before that she Googled, Chris Watts, Shanann, Ronnie, and then their address too.
Yeah, that's always made me a little bit like, Rena, did you know that? Like, she Googled the address, Ronnie, Chris, the night before.
Yeah.
She typed in the actual address of Chris. Yeah. That just never sat right with me, that part. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, like, laying it out like this, for example, like here you see that Chris Googles the Lazy Dog restaurant from 7 or 6:30 to 7. So like maybe we can assume that around 7 o'clock they arrived, or 7:15, whatever. They let's say they were done by, I don't know, it usually takes an hour and a half, let's say, for dinner. So let's say that's like 8:30 or whatever. Like, Shanann is on top of it. She's like, wait a minute, what's this? So she calls him immediately, Googles Lazy Dog restaurant, calls him back, texts him, okay, you need to save your receipt. So he knew once he put that credit card down, what's going to happen.
Yes, that was a narcissistic part of him.
Yeah.
He wanted to create an argument to have a reason to argue with Portia now when she got home. Yeah, it was on the plan.
Well, thanks for, the phone calls and stuff. I never saw it like set out like that with, his consistent behavior every day. And then that day, yeah, I never seen it out like that.
Did you put this together yourself, Dr. B, or did you have assistance with this?
Yes, I'm a nerd like that. That's what I do.
Okay. How long did that take you to do?
I don't even know. Like, I would start and then I would get sick of it because it's a lot of copying and pasting. And then I would walk away from it for like a week or two, and then I would come back. And so it took a couple of months.
Yeah, I believe that.
No,
And then,
yeah,
when I come across some information, I'm not sure, like, I know I'm going to need it at some point, but I'm not sure what to do with it. So then I have like a million sheets open down here with like all these little bits of information that are,
Mm-hmm.
So.
A lot of work, isn't it?
So do you think anything's going to come of it, or what are you thinking?
So basically I'll just turn this off now. Basically what I'm hoping is that I will get my hands on the rest of the files. Like if the DA won't hand them over, I was in contact with Frederick Police Department with what's her name? Amanda. She comes up in the discovery. She's like the evidence person. And I'll tell you right now what she's told me. She has, well, 1 second. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna pull it up on my.
No, you're fine.
So she says that, let's see here. All right. So she said that the discovery has 67 CDs in total, 145-page report, and and then she says the copies from our agency will not include any reports, audio or video from CBI, FBI, or other agencies. So she's saying that like Frederick Police have 67 CDs of evidence. And she's asking for they're asking for $2,425. This covers the staff time of 60 hours for the research, retrieval, redaction, and download of all audio, video, and reports. So, so I said, like, if the DA, if they keep ignoring me, I'm just gonna spit out $2,000 and.
So these are the same CDs and that are in the discovery that has not been released yet?
That's what I'm assuming, because I've compiled. They have the evidence logs in the discovery, and they're kind of dispersed all over the place. They're not in like one spot. So I literally went through it only looking for those logs, and then I compiled a list of what they have. So I'm not sure if it comes out to be 67 CDs, but there's definitely a lot, because all the assisting agencies that worked on this, including Greeley Police Department, Thornton Police Department, Longmont, like all of the surrounding towns, they would all send their evidence to Detective Baumhover, and then they were like the main hub for all the evidence, and then Frederick would send it to the DA.
I mean, if anything, just like any other state agency, you can always request. I mean, you don't have to request all this information at once. If money is an issue for anybody and who does want to do this, the public is more than welcome to fill a form out.
No, he's talking about something else, not the ones that we have.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, she's saying that
these are the ones that she's talking about that she's assuming are in the the
But they haven't
file,
released.
but they haven't released yet.
So she's saying that she might have to spend that to actually get
No,
it.
they told me that they told me that they cannot. Here, I'll just show you. I'm like a show and tell person. I don't know if you've noticed, but
Sometimes that's better than
yeah, because I feel like I don't know, it just gives us, I guess, like a visual.
It's called clarity.
Thank you. Yes, clarity. I'm more of like a visual person, and that's probably why like I needed a spreadsheet. But 1 second, I'm just gonna pull it up, and then.
Chip, I'm going to jump off here and give somebody else a chance. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Cindy.
Who's
Well,
that,
thanks. Yeah,
I'll be back.
Cindy, it's been a pleasure.
I like your
You're fine.
Take care.
I like that. Yeah.
It's been nice
You better come-
talking to you.
Definitely.
You too, Randy.
Take care.
How
Okay.
do I get out of here?
Here, I could.
The back room. Here, hold
I
on.
could
I'll show you.
Here, I could remove.
I'll meet you back
actually.
at the stage.
True helper, say hi.
Hello.
Oh my God.
What's going on, my friend?
I've been here.
Okay.
I just had to run around, and then I was trying to contact you, and I couldn't seem to do so. But you finally got back in touch with me.
I got it.
And I was letting Dr. B do her thing because I am interested in her research. It seems like she's done a lot of it, but
a lot of work.
But I
can
play
talk a lot
devil's advocate
too, so I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Do you have a question, True Helper?
Well, no, more information than anything.
Okay.
Ooh, we like information.
Yeah, absolutely. As well as I do. Starting out, most cell phones, especially most Apple tech, they can actually have pings, or their ranges to these towers can be between 20 to 45 miles.
Exactly.
Depending on obviously how old it was, but I can't see, NK having anything old, because obviously employment and everybody always upgrades their phone all the time. Yeah, I'm actually reviewing my own notes as I was taking some while Dr. B was talking. Most of them also, they usually ping about every 8 hours or so. Again, that is as per the phone and the carrier that you're through. I mean, nothing is usually, well, most of it can be typical and usually scheduled, but I'm sure the FBI and all them did, their due diligence and reviewed all the information they had available. And not to mention, they have some of the smartest agents and employees known to, our country,
Yes, sir. So you guys heard that. A phone, and for those of you who didn't know, and thank you, True Helper, on that, that radius. 25 to 40 miles. That's a lot of ground.
Actually, most newer cell phones actually can have a reach as far as 45 miles away. So, and depending on the technology of the cell phone network, the maximum distance can be as low as 20 to 22 miles, give or take.
Exactly.
So that was again, some of the stats that I had come across, as I was listening earlier and taking some notes. But
I agree with that, but the thing that's I just can't get out of my head now is how she said that he called her every day, every morning he was calling her, but then that morning, he didn't. So that's what I know the tower thing, like I've always thought that, but as far as why didn't he call her? Well, I guess never mind. Look what he was doing.
I was going to say, given the fact.
That's true. I don't know.
Given the fact of what
I've been saying the stupidest things today. Oh my God, with Silverleaf, she's talking about the case, and I'm like, oh, what about that case? That's what she just talked about. And I felt like an idiot.
You've got 75 different things in your mind at one time.
Exactly. So don't be hard on yourself.
Please don't. Because you'll beat me up later.
Oh,
so I think Dr. B wants to share. What is this now?
Okay. A record request?
Yeah, that's my record request that I sent to them. So first I must have like mistyped the case number. So then I wrote her, thank you for your reply. And I asked for Chris Watts, specifically the phone records from Celebrite, Axiom, whatever, or any other phone records that are referenced throughout the case for all 4 phones, the video recorded interview with Nicole, and any records or interviews with or pertaining to Nicole after September 5th with Detective Baumhover, because there's like a hidden sentence in there that that Detective Baumhover is continuing to investigate Nicole Kessinger because the CBI after the girls and Shanann were recovered, they were retreating basically. So this is her response. She said, due to the size of the case report, it's not reasonable for our staff to break down the report to fulfill requests for specific items. So basically she's saying it has to be everything.
That's understandable.
Okay.
The sheer amount of data that they have stored for them to individually pick and sift through all of it for specific information, I can understand why they would release it as a whole. It makes sense to me.
Wow. Yeah.
But if that's public record, why is that not been released from the discovery then?
I guess it's up to the DA of what, I don't know.
They could charge, they could have even charged just for the files we have, but they didn't. They said that they didn't because the amount of people requesting it, which I don't understand why that has anything to do with charging it. But that's what when I got the Weld County files, they said there's no charge because of the amount of requests. That's how they responded to me. But so yeah, they could have charged for fees to. Fees.
I get that.
It doesn't mean it needs to be free.
What I'm asking though is if that information that they're willing to pay for to go and find and put out, why can't you get it from the discovery then?
I don't know. I mean, why are they hiding this stuff? I don't understand.
It's still public record.
You think that there's something in there big?
If you request that through the discovery, it's public record.
Right. Well, I know, but I mean, it's just not what they're doing.
Places,
I don't know.
Same thing.
But why? I mean, what do you think?
That's what bothers me as well.
There's something man, I don't understand.
And the fact that they just won't release the video of the interview with Nicole and her dad. The discovery, it says, due to the size of the file, we didn't include the video, only the audio.
Yeah, I got that one.
But it's Chris's 7-hour polygraph is, I'm assuming, a big file, and we have that.
I feel in this instance, it's unfortunately and sad to say, it's who you know at this point in time, possibly. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just saying, to me, it seems like a little bit of a case of it's all who you know.
Are you saying because in case dad? Do you know anything about? Is there some validity to her dad being?
Well, I don't know about the validity. I have not gone and checked it myself.
I mean, people are saying that, but is there?
I checked them, and there isn't.
I don't see any logs, any ledgers, any nothing. As far as the
like an electrician.
But he was an influential person.
But how though? What do you mean?
I believe, was he not true helper? Do you know a little bit of NK's father's past?
I do. I'm not going to get into too much of it.
Okay, there you go. No.
But how do you know though, true helper? Is it just do you know this?
Because I've gotten in touch with certain people through certain organizations that actually know him.
Thank you.
Again, I don't want to start putting things out there to further add to the conspiracy theories. But I mean, I will say he is a man of stature, and
Thank you.
though not a very, very rich individual, he can definitely hold his own in this life. That's for sure. But
Thank you.
Well, that makes sense then. Why maybe
getting back to the pinging situation, or not situation, but getting back to a lot of that investigation that seems to be going on all over the place. I just want to encourage everyone to remember that the FBI and most of the authorities that were involved in this case have, again, some of the smartest and well-educated individuals in the country, let alone the world.
Amen to that, brother.
I know that they have really crossed their T's and dotted their I's. And I'm not saying that everybody just stop, but I've been watching some other channels that have really taken this to the next level, and it's fine if people want to do some general research and look into it. But again, where a lot of my mindset begins and ends a bit is at the fact that with the ping thing, I automatically knew when I first heard all about it that cell phones can ping from so many miles away. And I'm sure that Anadarko, without even doing research, is definitely within a distance of 40 to 45 miles away.
There's no doubt. Yeah.
So, and the fact that the behavior had changed that morning, it's very easy to assume that he was obviously busy, disposing, getting his plan taken care of. The only thing he didn't count on was Nicole Atkinson being there.
God bless that girl.
In the day. Yeah. Because without her, who knows where it would have went from there. So, but
That's
again,
why everybody needs friends.
I agree. And also, again, because I do get stuck on patterns and things that repeat, it seems that the only time that she pinged in Frederick was once. And well, okay, let me backtrack. My mind is going like 100 miles an hour. So she's saying that she was with Chris at Chris's house twice. July 4th, which we don't have her phone records for that day because they don't go back that far. And the second time, July 14th.
Where am I going?
Huh? Oh.
What happened?
Somebody said something about a gun. What?
No, Cindy's back on.
Okay, I'm enjoying this conversation.
And
Must have been on your end, Tiff.
Yeah.
easily distracted.
What were you saying, Dr. B? That was interesting.
No, I'm saying that we don't have her records for July 4th. But on the 14th, she does ping in Frederick when we know that she's at his house. And the second time, I'm not going to bring my spreadsheet back up. I'm going to put it up on Google Docs or something so all of you can look at it. But another time she pings in Frederick is on the 18th, I believe, of July. And that's when she leaves one of those creepy texts or creepy voicemails.
I thought they were sexy.
Ugh, please. You're joking. Ugh.
What about you, True Helper? I don't know.
Is that you or your hair talking about her?
Yeah, right.
Whatever it's at. No, that wasn't.
So the 18th, go ahead. What were you saying, Noah?
Oh, yes. So she pings in Frederick on the 18th. And around, oh gosh, I don't want to, say the wrong thing, but it's around the time when Chris got home, according to his GPS. And she calls him, he doesn't answer, and then he calls her back 2 minutes later. They talk for a couple of minutes. And so someone was saying that those pings could be on her way home from work because she could have been taking I-25 or whatever that expressway is. But I don't know that I believe it because, again, just based on history, she leaves work around 3, she's usually at home already in Thornton pinging around 3:30, 4. And this ping in Frederick was 4:30, closer to 5. So I don't know. And then the only other ping that we have is that morning. So I don't know, I guess. And then with the with the pinging, I've pulled up like a map of all the cell towers in the area. And even though, yes, like it can go 20 miles, whatever the range is, it's not going to do all that extra work if it has a tower that's not overwhelmed. It'll use whatever's the closest.
But don't you think when you look at the I-25 route, what if she took that? Because it's very well, would go right through Frederick, so that wouldn't be.
Right. No, absolutely.
She could have took that route that morning, but
she definitely could have. But why didn't she ever do it before this morning? That's the question.
Well,
maybe she did, but she just didn't call Jim at that time. She didn't make a phone call at the time she was going through Frederick because she wouldn't be there that long going through Frederick. Maybe it just happened that she never initiated a phone call like as she was going through that area because it wouldn't be that big of a time.
But we're assuming that she made that call from her car. If she was at the house and she stayed behind for a little bit, she could have been making it from his house.
Well, yeah, she could have, but I'm just saying I just can't get it out of my head that she could have been called on the way to work, and then like what's the chances that she calls somebody at that exact time? Because we have 2 months you said of the phone record, so there could be. It still could be that she just never made a call at that when she was at that moment on the highway. I don't know though.
No, she definitely did make phone calls, and she always pings in the Brighton area, Fort Lupton, which is like the other route. I forgot.
So it would be like where she would be instead of so it would be exactly where she'd be. I gotta look at the route
but you have
where she'd be instead of Frederick if she was taking her out.
Also, and I'm sure everybody does understand that. Yes, human beings are creatures of habit, but we are also do things differently. Things come up. You have to go someplace else. You're deflected. You have to go. All of a sudden, you have to go get your car fixed, transmission fixed, something looked at. So you're therefore not going to take that same route.
But she's going to work. That's what she's saying, though. It's work every day, though.
But there are instances.
No, I mean, I agree, though, that I want to see something.
You can't go by that.
And if I may add, there's a reason why most of the court systems throughout the United States and most of the laws rarely ever, or I should say most prosecutors or even defense attorneys would never try to enter ping type of information into and for the record is because it's very rarely determined as definitive evidence. And again, the only reason why is because, yeah, it's true. She could have sat out in his driveway and made a phone call and pinged at that moment. But then the moment that she got done, it could have went to a different tower. I mean, a lot of pings.
They call that repeater towers.
The reason why it goes to specific towers is usually either because of the usage or towers also are known to do updates and refreshing on a lot of their own system servers and networks. It depends again also on how many people are also attached in a particular area. So I guess the point I'm trying to say is that it's not about what we think or what we personally believe. It's what you can prove in a court of law. And if the prosecutor and DA don't have a slam dunk, okay, here it is because we have, say, her Find My iPhone app, or we have her locations that were turned on and we were able to track her through Google Maps or something along those lines. Usually any defensive attorney worth their weight can blow that right out of the water. And again, stating exactly as I did, there's really nothing definitive with a lot of that information because the first thing that the defense will argue is, well, hey, look, we can prove that her signal can be bounced around to one of a multitude of towers, at any given time, depending on traffic and all that. And it's so hard for the cell phone carriers to isolate and determine that, okay, yes, it was at this tower at this time and that tower at that time for this particular reason or that particular reason. I mean, it's really, again, it leaves a lot to be questioned and it creates also a lot of reasonable doubt. And that's exactly what the defense hangs their hat on. So again, in order for the prosecutor or the DA to say, okay, I believe we have enough based on pings, let's bring her in for questioning. I can tell you right now, it would never happen. It would never happen.
And it sucks, guys. I understand. Probably the majority of your viewers that really, I mean, we all want justice. We all. That's the main thing.
And I want to make that clear. I'm not defending for her. I'm really not.
But it just sucks. It really does. But it is unfortunate. I hate this thing. It is what it is sometimes. And until something that is concrete or came out, there's nothing that can be.
But maybe all these little things,
put
together, maybe it'll be just enough. But what I'm saying is, maybe it'll be just enough to call her in for some questioning. If you could create a little bit of enough that at least to call her in to ask some questions and see.
I agree with that. I agree with that, Tiff. The only problem is that if they start hauling her in for questioning, now she will definitely start building up her defensive wall against all of this. And not to mention, I'm sure the moment that she knew she was in deep crap, obviously her father got involved, and they immediately started assembling probably a team of kick butt attorneys.
A major game.
They were ready.
Yes. And once again, that sucks. But
yeah, it does. It does. And, if she did, and it's a big if, she was culpable in any way or had any hand in this, of course, I'd be one of the first ones to say she needs to be brought to justice. But again, based on theories on, the software and technology being what it is today, I mean, that's why the FBI and other organizations, authoritative organizations, are the way that they are, and they have such a team of investigators, because they do try to make sure that there was no possibility in any way, shape, or form that any other individual was possibly involved. Obviously they want justice for the family.
But I don't know.
I do believe there are some questionable actions. I really do, and I think
I don't know if I agree that they.
But
I feel like
at the end of the day,
I don't know.
What are you thinking? I think you're thinking what I'm thinking.
What do you say? What you're thinking first?
I think it's more than things. I mean, there is so much. Even Colback said to her, right from the very start, when somebody starts deleting text messages, right there, it makes them suspicious. I mean, we could go down the line.
Of course.
That looks
all the way down the line.
That's why she was there.
We need that sissy pants Chris to fill his guts. That's the sure thing, but that probably isn't going to happen.
And if I could just say, and I'll leave. I feel like I've talked way too much.
This can be bad.
You can't leave. I tried and they got me back.
Just
I've got the door to the backstage.
With the pings again, I'm sorry, I keep going back to that. That's another reason why I want the rest of the file. And first of all, I don't know that there's no mention of them interviewing her alibi or talking to him or anything like that. I don't know that they looked into the phone pings or the phone data that they got from the phone companies, because they got it in October. And by that time, they were well into, Chris was already awaiting whatever, so they had their confession and they were done with the case.
And not to be, don't forget, the FBI was off it. It wasn't a kidnapping anymore. That night they were done. We went back to the police department.
Yeah, and with the pings, I would really recommend, I don't know if you guys like watching trials, but I would really recommend watching the trial of Tammy Moore and Sydney Moore in the Heather Elvis case. And a lot of their evidence was all of their evidence was circumstantial evidence, and they really went heavy on the pings. And their experts really go into detail because that's really all they had. And they talk about how pings work and how they narrowed down where the phone could be within 20 feet. Based on the different towers and how they communicate and how they interact and the directions that you're going and so on and so forth. And in that case, they were able to convict both of them based on solely circumstantial evidence and based on where their phones were at the times, you know, where Heather Elvis's phone went dead, because the only time you don't ping is when you put it, if you put it in airplane mode, because you don't have to be on the phone to ping. Even if your phone is off and in your pocket, you know, and you get an email, there's background activities, background apps refresh, you know, anytime that your phone is doing anything data related, it's pinging somewhere, because it's getting that information from somewhere. So you don't need to sit on the phone to ping. And so that's why I'm just so thirsty for those files, because that'll just put an end to all of this, I feel like.
True.
Poor woman, you.
And I applaud you for it.
Yes.
I wanted to say, I wasn't trying to shoot you down at all, Dr.
No,
Bay.
I'm sorry, I just talk like this. I yell. So I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're
You're passionate,
not
and that's a
yelling
good
at
thing. It's a
all.
very good thing.
Oh,
You know,
you're precious.
I just know that if they want to bring charges against anybody, they want to make sure that every single T is crossed and I is dotted. Otherwise, they will waste resources. They will do a lot of things that their bosses, you know, the prosecutor's office and all that, you know, everybody has a handler and or a boss. And before they start the process of beginning to charge somebody, they want to make sure that they have all the information to do so, to make sure that they can get an indictment. You know, and
that's
move
why you
forward.
can be in a grand jury.
Exactly.
The prosecutor decides if there's enough to bring to a grand jury, if you can name
Exactly.
one, and then it's up to the grand jury to decide if you're going to go forward or not.
Oh, yeah. Well, but even before that, actually, on the contrary, it actually begins and ends at the prosecutor's office, because if they don't believe there's a chance, they won't even fathom, you know, starting any kind of grand jury hearing.
Right. Correct. What I'm saying is, you know, once they charge her, then, you know.
True.
I mean, anybody can get look at O.J. Simpson. Anybody can get a good defense attorney.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must quit.
I mean, and that's what they say now, like with social media and technology and CCTV. You're stupid if you commit a crime nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got the glove.
You're being watched.
I believe I even saw somebody in a chat earlier. Janet Williams said I must have been watching Scott Rush a little much or something to that extent. But yes, I like it, obtaining information on the how-tos and ins and outs of our legal system. It does fascinate me. But the problem then, when you start into the investigative aspect, there are so many layers that really must be, again, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove in a court of law. So that being said, they really, really, really want to make sure that they have a rock solid case. And I believe, knowing how deeply her father also was willing to protect her, and I'm sure he probably had a top-notch defense attorney already making phone calls without us even knowing, you know, pretty much, you know, it determined that they weren't going to pursue anything further. And again, honestly, I wish there was something definitive about the pings, because, you know, that would answer a lot of questions, because I know that there's a lot of people out there, more creators than I could possibly count, that are going down this avenue. And hey, look, it's a free country, more power to you. But again, the prosecutor's office, they knew they had a slam dunk. The DA obviously went forward against Watts. You know, he confessed. He
but didn't her father say right from the beginning that they were doing damage control? Remember that? Like her second interview, or the first interview?
Yeah, they were more or less talking about NK's life, actually, the damage control there.
Like with the media?
Because, you know, her job, her friends, you know, just being out.
Look what happened. Anna Darker fired her almost immediately.
Yeah,
right.
Any father would be definitely concerned.
But you're Hoper, don't you agree, though, that it's really important that, since all of us, there's thousands of us that could do the work and put in the hours that they don't want to do, and they don't have time to do it. So, you know, we could all present them with everything we find, and it could help, actually, because they don't have, I mean, obviously they're not.
We're just assuming that they could have stuff that we don't even know about. That they're saying, I don't think they're going to 2-3 years after a murder, people are then charged. We don't know.
So you're saying, I have a question. Are you saying, okay, they have stuff and they're working on something, or they have stuff and they're just not going to do anything about it?
No, I'm saying they could have stuff that we don't even know about.
Oh, yeah, they do. Like Dr. B said,
Maybe they
do,
are
but
investigating it. Like I said
you
earlier,
think they're still working on it. Okay, I don't know.
We don't know. I mean, like True Helper said, you got to be damn sure before you charge somebody and convene a grand jury that you got enough evidence that this will go to trial. And
Exactly.
I mean, they could have stuff that we don't even know about, that we're not even privy to.
All right.
But, and I do got to add to this. Go ahead. Whoever was talking.
No, I'm
Was
just saying,
somebody
the icing on the cake. I mean, they could have stuff that,
Sure.
and
But
they're
I
not
do gotta-
talking. You think they're going to tell anybody like we're working on it and,
Of
No.
course not. And, this is another thing
Right.
with social media too. If there is something out there, and it depends on how it's being found, it could be a bad thing for the prosecutor, because we could, somebody could be giving out information that definitely could be used in the wrong way, the way we don't want it to be used. But it could happen. But what I'm saying, though, in everything in a nutshell, everybody together, do what you're doing. I think it's okay. Do what you're doing. One huge collaborative think tank. It's a huge world. Let's make one huge brain. But at the same token, you got to take in everybody's point of views, and don't bash other creators. Don't bash whoever's giving this information. They're doing a lot of work. They're trying their damnedest just to find justice. But yet a lot of people are getting cut down and talked bad about, bashed, blah, blah, blah. You just gotta pull together. You gotta be objective. You gotta see why other people are thinking this way, accept it, which is their right. And maybe, just maybe, that think tank will get bigger and more respective, So, no, that's why I say I think it's a great thing that everybody's doing this. But man, this Watts case is just wearing my ass out.
Take a break, I think, for a little bit.
It's really, it is. I mean, but thank God there's so many more people like Dr. B out here making her spreadsheets, on top of her daily stuff. Tiff, you answering questions, you doing your research, you may be, and all the other creators out here doing things. It's awesome that you guys are doing it. But man, there are so many other things that can be looked at. So everybody should collaborate and say, okay, I'll take this case, I'll take this case, and then just work.
There are. That's what that's happening all over, though. Really.
Yeah, without bashing.
So,
without bashing or cutting somebody's
I just
opinion
think
down.
it could really turn into something. You never know.
We can have a perfect world, people.
Well, I'm not sure how long something like that could go on for, because I know usually with murder, there is no statute of limitations. However, accessory to, I'm not sure what the statute of limitations is on that specific.
There you go. There you go.
So,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
to answer
yeah,
something else
work.
you were speaking of earlier, Tiff, I don't think it's a matter of, the authorities not wanting to look into certain things. Of course, there are those that are just straightforward, head down, and, take the fight forward, one case after another after another. However, there are a lot of officers and agents and other authoritative figures that really do want to get to the bottom of each and every case that comes across their desk. So I'm sure there are more than a handful of people that may actually feel the same way, say Dr. B feels, and which actually leads nicely into a question for Dr. B. To what end are you looking, why are you doing all the research that you have, impressively so, I might add, but what is your end game? What is it that you conclusively feel in your heart and soul? Do you feel that she was there, that she was involved? I'm sorry, but I wasn't on earlier, so I'm not sure that I heard what a motive or what you were looking to get at.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think it's just for my own sanity because there are so many questions here, but also because I'm working on a book and I want it to be,
great.
as accurate as possible. And when you put it, and like I said, I'm visual, and having it all laid out like that for me, like it helps almost tell the story for me.
I'd buy that book. It sounds interesting. I mean, Lord knows you've displayed and brought forward a very impressive amount of work with the spreadsheets.
Never bought my book.
Stay with it. By all means, stay with it. I mean, I might not agree with you 150%, but look, I mean, there always could be something. And like Tiffany said earlier, there are a lot of investigative sleuths all over the internet, and not just on YouTube, but everywhere. And I think collectively speaking, that's why, a lot of the authorities have gotten the help and now are starting to recognize these social media platforms because of some of these independent investigative sleuths, as I like to refer to them as. I mean, they have found out many, many, many different facts on certain cases that otherwise the local law enforcement or FBI or somebody's either overlooked or, they didn't have the budget or finance for, so I think it's a great thing. So,
yes, it is. It really is.
By all means, Dr. B. Like I said, just because I don't agree, again, as I said earlier, it doesn't mean I'm not interested. And I think it would make for a very good book. I mean, as structured and as, well organized as your work seems to be, it definitely piques my interest as well. Because, I'm always about trying to learn new things about software and technology and all of those kinds of things. And, who knows? I mean, sometimes even investigators and all learn new things every day from other people that otherwise they might not have known. Say people like you didn't do the research and maybe cross some T's and dotted some I's and didn't look into like they might either had the time for or were just simply educated with. So keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Thank you. Yeah. And that's another, like with me, I get so passionate about certain things and I learned so much, and I think that's also for my own personal like curiosity because I don't know if it's just because I'm like a paranoid person at the core. Like I don't trust people, and I just don't trust what's on paper. So for a lot of times I like to find out for myself, and yeah, like most of the time I waste my time, because there's nothing. But at the same time, I feel this sense of, what's the word? Like satisfaction in knowing that I can rely on that. So maybe it's just my distrust of people in society that just makes me want to do everything myself.
Well, no, I mean that is you have got, if you're going to present something or say something, you have got to see for your own eyes.
Right.
What evidence, you've got to see that evidence yourself. You can't go by hearsay. And so I feel that's where that comes into. It's not distrusting the person. It's just not really knowing that person, how involved they are, how educated they are, how good they are at their job. So I feel that every bit of evidence that, and this is why I have so much respect for Tiff and her channel and the people that are here. They base everything on true, actual facts. And once again, they're human. Things can be misread, mistaken, but definitely you can't cut yourself short by not trying. But it's not the fear of people. And I pray to God that you're not living in the fear of people. Just their lack of ability, I hope. But so.
You know what drives me crazy over and over again?
Me?
In the height of the interrogation, when Graham and Tammy are talking to Chris, and it's out there, and he says she wasn't supposed to be there. Why didn't either one of them ask? Who are you talking about?
It's got to be Nicole Atkinson.
There was even a pause.
Because
or Bella to even.
well, you know, you could think that, but I feel deep down in my heart, and everybody has their own opinion, but my opinion, I feel deep down, this narcissistic little son of a piece of shit was so pissed off, and he had no other. He couldn't quit thinking about it. He could not quit thinking about it. He's in the interrogation. Yeah, she wasn't supposed to be there. Yeah, well, that's what you call a friend, you dumbass. Yeah, that's what you call people who actually care about it. You know? And I really think it was about Nicole Atkinson being there and showing up and just blowing his shit away.
It could have, yeah, Randy, you're right. It could have been her. But it
Ruining
was
his
right
life.
when we were talking about the actual event. It wasn't the next, you know, but you could be right.
Yeah, he doesn't make sense regardless when he talks.
I caught, also during his confession, I caught him saying Bella got back up.
I did a video on that one too. Yeah, he did. He said they got back up. So yeah, so it goes along with his story, kind of what you know, what he said as far as. And that's what
wordplay. Yeah,
I mean, that's what I got from it, because remember he said he smothered them and they woke back up. So that's kind of what I took from that.
You take whatever the way you want to take it, as long as it
I
makes
did a
you
video
sleep
on it
at
actually,
night,
but
you know?
that I forget. I need to read some comments on what everybody else thought.
And it makes me
I mean,
feel
you guys
so much
think that's
better
what he was? I mean, it was.
Nicole busted his ass. That's
Oh no, we're talking about something else now. Oh, okay. No, it could be. Do you guys think it could be Bella?
Makes me sleep good at night.
No, yeah. I mean,
if she was caught by her friend, her best friend, something you don't know. Well, he doesn't even.
But I mean, I think he would have got caught regardless.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they were at the freaking work site. They work. I mean, it was only a matter of time, I think. Or do you guys? I guess a lot of you guys think he was going to go back and blow up the site, but
he didn't know. He's
but
like,
still, I feel like.
Am I going to take this gas can, blow up the
I
place,
still,
catch a car?
yeah, I still feel like he would have got caught, though. You know, but I don't know.
Yes, he would.
She
well, okay, all right. You know what? The big talk now, Tiffany, is what really screwed him up was not knowing the password for Shenan's phone.
Oh,
see, he had
that
phone with him. They're saying
he knew that.
Okay?
He knew that password.
What he was
going
to do was he was going to answer her mother, her friends, you know, ward everybody off that day.
Oh,
but he
yeah.
To Nico's birthday.
I never thought about that. So he probably was not.
You know, there's a Reddit, and I never really was on Reddit much at all in my life, but one of the other channels, I think Dr. B, it was when you were on the other night, speaker came on Cricket Tail, and she's on Reddit, and it's called Chris Evidence Watts on Reddit. And it's a group of people, like there's no arguing, there's no fighting, they're just throwing really, really, you know, good stuff out there. And I think, you know, on there, they talked a lot about that. How his plan was to use her phone, but she pulled a fast one on him. Not that she knew that.
I hope that's the case. But I still
think about how many times that this happens where the person that killed the person does pretend to be the person and throw them off. Oh yeah, fine, that's a common thing. So that's a good point. That did screw him up. He would have answered all those, and then he was
going to go, I'm just doing that. I'll get back to you later, because he knew Shanann was on that phone. He lived with her. He knew that she was constantly texting with her friends. You could never let go a couple hours.
But yet the friends knew the passcode.
You're right. I didn't even think about that. Good call, Cindy. Yeah.
And then good old Nicole Atkinson showed up. God bless her. We all need a friend like her.
She was persistent, man. She was not going to let Chris, like, no, I want to see Shanann. Like, you get,
she had a gut instinct, Tiffany. Woman's gut instinct. That's her friend, and she knew something wasn't right. Amazing.
I was watching some of those videos last night, and I was watching her face, and oh my gosh, the emotion and the fear, and just watch her. Like, I was just watching her the whole time, because I've watched Chris. I just, you know, go back and watch different things, and like, I didn't realize. Wow, just go back and watch her. Like, just watch her the whole time, and she is like scared to death. Like, you see it, she just like, oh my god, like so. You just
when she realizes that Shanann's medicine and Cece's EpiPen were in her pocketbook in the kitchen at that point.
Yes, that's the one part I have in my head right now. Yes, that's what I'm picturing. Yes.
And even upstairs on that second floor, that like second little TV area, there were a couple times then when she realized, that poor girl, she was bursting out in tears, right on the verge of it. And she was only like out of communication for an hour or two, but she knew her friend. Her friend would never miss a doctor's appointment. Her friend, where could she have gone without the car and car seats? Like, she would never take her kids anywhere without a car seat. And that's just knowing your friend really well, and most importantly, it's doing something about it.
Yeah.
You know, how many times do we go, oh, I should have done something, and you don't? But she had enough, common sense. Took a lot to call the cops.
Yeah.
She was only not even missing, out of communication for a couple of hours. And she's going to the police department.
Wow.
Think about that.
Man.
I don't know.
Great friend. No, you're right. Yes, she.
But yeah, there was a big discussion on that phone and how they were just that's what ruined his plan, because he thought he had time to come home, clean up the place, and you know what? Take Shanann's car somewhere too. The plan was to take her car and dump it somewhere and all her stuff. But
so do you think he had her phone with him at work then? Is that what you think he brought it? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. And then there was something else. Well, Dr. B, you brought this up with the mailboxes on the street behind the house. How, they assumed that he had stopped and dumped his clothes in the trash recyclable. But Dr. B is the one who figured out that she thinks he was stopping at the mailboxes there.
For what?
Right, Dr. B?
Like, again, it's the pattern. Like, I noticed every other day when he would come home from work, he would stop at this address for like a minute or two and then go home. And initially I thought, oh, maybe he parked the truck like on the other side of the street, and the GPS just like picked it up as, that street, whatever it was. And then I looked it up on Google Earth. And it put me right in front of some house. And I said, okay, well, that's not, next door. That's not down the street. So I started just turning around and realized that like they have the, mailboxes for like the whole community where I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but like, yeah, so the mail is there. And so he stops there like every other. And so like the fact that he would just casually stop by and like check out, what's going on in the mailbox, I don't know, was also very.
Why did he lie? Why did he just say that? Like, yeah, I stopped by the mailbox. That's so weird because he agreed that he stopped at the dumpster. That's weird.
Gosh, that's so interesting that you say that, because I actually went and re-listened to the jail interview, and if you go back and listen to it, and listen to him responding to those questions, he's almost like he has no idea what he's talking about, because
I agree. When they were asking him about like, did they kind of put it into his mouth? You're right. They were like, so you threw away the
right.
Didn't they even say the blankets and the toys? You threw away your clothes. They were kind of putting the stuff. Yeah. So
yeah.
But I don't understand. Why did he just say no? No, I was checking the mailbox. That's what I don't understand. But you're right on that. You are definitely right on that. But
yeah, because that was really odd to me. Like, I don't know. I feel like you would remember that. And yeah, I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. That part where he was answering those questions about disposing the evidence. Another part that really bugs me was when he describes, the crimes themselves, because that doesn't make sense. But then again, it is, for lack of a better term, it is a traumatic event. It's not something that you just do, I don't know. And so I can see how that can be maybe a little bit inconsistent. But yeah, there are definitely moments in all of his interviews where I was like, well, I'm not even sure that he knows what he's talking about,
Gosh, it just makes you wonder why was he so weird like
Very
that on some of the
secretive, I feel like.
questions? Yeah, it's like, what is he hiding? Like, what is he keeping? I mean, he's definitely hiding something. We all know that. He's not letting it all out. But what is it? I don't know.
Absolutely. And the whole Oxy thing then comes up, and it's like, okay.
Gosh.
Oh yeah, that was another thing, the whole Oxy thing.
I don't understand why he says, oh, that's why it was in her system when it wasn't.
It wasn't. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
why did he think that? I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. Like he'll say things as if they were a matter of fact, but like it's not anywhere in the evidence. And then what I want to know is what's up with the blue nitrile glove that they found, and like that
Right.
wasn't mentioned. And there's so many questions.
What was on the refrigerator? So how about the sleeping mask too? That was weird. Downstairs.
Oh, in the basement? Yeah. Oh, shoot, I don't know. Yeah, there's. But all we're gonna have is what he says, and he's just full of it. Shoot, unless if there's something in that information that you might be able to get that can answer some questions, but
hopefully.
I don't know.
I mean, we'll definitely get a more comprehensive if we just get the Celebrite reports, because most of that timeline, if not all of it, is comprised from the Celebrite report. And if anything, we'll get, a more comprehensive list of what he was Googling, who he was talking to. We'll get all the text messages. And so, for me, again, like I need that. Like I need context. I need to know. I need to see. For example, even with looking at the what do you call it? The little spreadsheet that I made, and the day when Nicole said that he went to Longmont wherever and picked up the paint, and then came to her house, and then so even there, like you see that, okay, he was at work, he went straight to her house, but she's saying this. Why? All right. So the next point, he leaves 3 hours later, and then has the ultrasound with Shanann, and then the next text message that goes out of Shanann's phone is saying, Chris told me he doesn't want the baby. And then the next Google search by NK is marrying your mistress, and it's like you can put together a narrative just based on the records, on the phone records that we have. And so I feel that if we had like the complete Celebrite report, it could put the picture together for us.
Ah, you're right. So what's the chances? You're saying that if you come up with the money, they'll give it to you, but you're waiting, or
well,
what?
She's not even telling me like what's included in there. So I know for a fact that Greeley Police Department, I think they did they ran one of I'm not sure if it was Chris's phone, and then Dacono, I think is how you say it, did another phone dump, and then Thornton did NK's phone. So it's like all these different agencies are involved. And when I asked her, like, can you verify if this report is in there, she says, well, I can't itemize what's in there, you'll just have to get it all. So I'm hoping it is, because in the discovery it does say that it was sent to Baumhover, and Baumhover sent it to the evidence person. And so yeah, like it should be in there, but again, you never know. So
well, hopefully we'll get some answers. That's after that, it's like, then that's all of it, right? And if we won't have it unless if Chris says something, but how are we going to believe that liar? Like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I feel the need to apologize. I just read in chat that they asked if anybody hears a snoring sound, and was it my dog? And it is my bulldog.
Oh, he's snoring. Oh, I love when my dog snores.
He's so beautiful. You want to see him?
Yeah.
This guy. A little break for levity. Atticus, can you see him down there? Atticus back.
Wait, I can't see.
Ralph, help me out here. Addie.
Oh.
Can you
Look at that mushy face.
True Helper, I forgot
This
you
guy,
were still here. You
he's a therapy dog.
Cute. He's so cute. Wow.
He's a therapy dog, and he goes to the hospital every week.
Aw.
I love dogs so much.
You heard that or not?
So does anybody else have anything to say? I might call it a night for the night because it's.
I was going to as well, but I'm glad all of you.
Why doesn't it ever show? How do I see how? Oh, there it is. 3 hours. Whoa, 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours and 14 minutes.
Okay. I don't like to go past like a couple hours, but 3 hours. Well, okay. Are you guys have anything you want to add?
Personally, I'm glad that all of you are still on it like you are, but I'm on a different page, I guess. The whole Watts case, including many, many, many others, they are very good examples for us to actually live our lives by. And what I mean by that is to help us understand that there are monsters around every corner out there. So the best thing that you can do is just stay in the know, stay aware, keep your eyes open. It doesn't mean you have to not trust everybody in your life. But however, it is a bit easier when we remove ourselves from our tech, from our phones, from our laptops, from all of our other movies or our Netflix and all that stuff, and just have conversations with people from time to time and get to know if there's any problems or issues that may be boiling beneath the surface. Because, let's face it, in today's day and age, everybody is separated from each other, given the fact that we have such an access to information and so many social media platforms and entertainment that's out there on the web. I mean, we all walk around with cell phones and so many different devices that do distract us from our everyday. So point is just, keep your eyes and ears open and just, keep your actual heart and mind in your relationship, and just have the common sense and the frame of mind to recognize when there are issues. Because I have met so many people in my travels and helping with missing persons cases that really they realize at the end of it all that there are so many different things they could have done to recognize different behavior patterns that were leading them awry, or that there were issues that they didn't know about. But all of us, and includes myself, we're distracted nowadays. So again, I feel that by all means, everybody can investigate and keep on trying to understand further what happened with the Watts case. But again, I just use it, as a cornerstone, so to speak, to help people realize that, maybe if she wasn't as busy with all of her Thrive and being on podcasts and live streams all the time, maybe she may have been able to have seen the signs and symptoms. And in many ways, she actually did, because she had already looked in. She got some relationship help books and things of that nature. So she had an idea. But imagine if she had a little bit more attention to focus on him and to actually be able to have seen these issues coming, So I'm not, and let me make it clear, I'm not blaming anything on her. By all means, there was really, look, whatever will be, it will be. And, God's will trumps everything. But bottom line, again, I would urge everybody, maybe once in a while, if say you are having a rough patch in your relationship, or say your relationship with your kids or your extended family or whatnot is it's strained, or that there are issues, just stop, put it down, and realize maybe I should ask some questions and just get to the bottom of it. Because again, there are so many different things that from my point of view, that I see that were obvious triggers. But then again, it's easy for all of us to say shoulda, coulda, woulda. Hey, I saw this. I know that. This should have been done. But
Oh shoot.
Sorry for that rant, but sometimes these cases, they tend to make me think of these things because, again, maybe had she just noticed that there was an issue or maybe a change in his behavioral patterns, I mean, all of us are routine. We are. We do our everyday lives almost the same way, at least for 8 to 12 hours a day, getting up, getting out the door, going to work, what we do and all that stuff. And then we get home, we have some quick conversations, dinner, and then some people, and actually a good portion of people, they just hop online or they're playing games or they're YouTubing or whatever else. And nothing bad or wrong, or I'm not saying anything bad towards, say, creators or whatnot. But again, just pay attention. Just get to the bottom of it.
All right,
Well,
guys.
thanks for having me on, Tiff.
Yeah, Cindy, come back. Dr. B, thank you so much for sharing all your information. And you did clear up a lot of questions I had, so thank you. Because I was studying that router information, and gosh, I was studying it so much my eyes were twitching. Like when I tried to go to sleep, my eyes literally were twitching for the last 3 nights because I was just looking at it intensely. But you did clear up some stuff.
Megan J in chat, I think, was answering a lot of questions for some chat people too. She's been on all night. Megan J.
Wait, say that again. Megan J. What?
Was in chat.
Okay.
She was answering a lot of questions for people.
Oh, okay, cool.
Thanks to her too. Gotta go to her channel.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you all the moderators and everybody. You guys are awesome.
You guys rock.
Maybe I know you've been working. Maybe he's been working extra hard being the only mod in the
Merci beaucoup, mon chéri.
Chat. There we go. What did you say?
True crime in Colorado.
Okay.
Tiff. True crime in Colorado. True crime.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Okay, cool.
NK, you gotta watch it.
Okay, I'll check it out. Thank you. All right. Well.
Oh, and one last thing. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody in chat. Thanks for all the positive feedback, all the good comments, and just everybody being here.
You the man. You the man, true helper.
And thank all of you. I appreciate you having me on tonight, Tiff.
Great voice, true helper.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you, and sorry for yelling at you guys.
It was a pleasure, Dr. B.
You're right, you sound like me. I'm always like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm yelling, I gotta quit.
You ladies are so silly. You yell, Dr. B.
Randy, you abandoned me. You left me alone with all of them. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but look at the lovely women I left you with.
I know.
It was so nice to meet you, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to meet you too. I'm really glad I got to talk to you. Okay.
And keep going with that research, Dr. B.
Cindy,
You had said one other thing. Yeah. You had said one other thing, or one last thing that I wanted to comment on. You had said earlier that you feel sometimes it's a waste of your time. I feel on the contrary. I don't believe it is at all. It's all these little things and all the mistakes that we make that lead us to the right side of things.
That's right.
It's like that. What is it? Thomas Edison with the light bulb thing. He learned 999 ways how not to make a light bulb, but the last way, obviously, he made a light bulb. So. Anyway,
what the biggest lesson for me is?
Don't ever let anybody knock you down, because I've also seen and heard a lot of people hating on what you've been doing, and I've heard just because of some of the associations you've made that people are also spewing hate. Don't let that crap get to you.
Yeah,
definitely not. Stay strong. Stay strong. Well,
guys. The biggest lesson that I've learned from this is, if anything happens to me, delete my browser history.
I think I've heard
Send me your Apple phone. Send me your Apple phone.
Oh, that's a
good night. Thank you so much.
Right.
Good night, guys. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Everybody.
Have a good night. And sleep well when you